Welcome to the Illuminerdi coverage of DC Fandome. Right now, it's preview. It hasn't started yet, but I am Joe with the Illuminerdi along with Tatiana.
Hello.
She is a DC Comics TV expert, we shall say. Mm-hmm. You're on a lot of podcasts. You want to talk about that?
Yes, I am on the Flash podcast, and obviously we discussed the Flash TV show, but right now, since everything is on hiatus, we are doing more speculations for the movie and deep dives into the comic book world.
Let's
say, ladies with gumption. We're talking about all the ladies of DC Comics.
Brandon Zachary. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Brandon, DC, a DC expert in his own right. Rage Cage. You do Rage Cage here. You also write for CBR.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You also write for Screen Rant.
I do write for Screen Rant.
Am I, kind of. Josh Goldman here.
Yo, what's up?
Known for our Star Trek show. But we're going to be talking about DC Fandome for the better part of this morning, the very least. First and foremost, there is breaking news. If you do want spoilers, this is not going to be the place for you.
Wait, if you don't want
spoilers.
So sorry if we spoiled you on Twitter, but...
If you don't want spoilers...
Are you sorry?
Don't look at our Twitter.
I mean, not really.
Definitely going to be a place for you. So, first and foremost, let's kind of go over this big breaking news right now. And again, if you do not want spoilers, you should log out now and maybe come back after this is all announced officially. But as of right now, it looks like Splash Report is reporting that Starro is going to be the primary antagonist. Any chance you could throw up some Starro imagery or find it?
Yeah. Let me find something.
Starro is going to be the villain in James Gunn's Suicide Squad movie. Now, this
is the perfect James Gunn.
It's exactly what you would want from the guy who did Ego the Living Planet as Kurt Russell.
So, Starro, this is also reported by Splash Report. Brandon, before we break down what this means, possibly for the Suicide Squad movie, chat me up a little bit about Starro.
So Starro was the first threat that the Justice League ever had to assemble to fight. He is a giant space starfish, because comics are the best. Starro's whole thing is it's this alien entity that can
It's like a race of starfish.
Yeah, it's like this giant starfish that controls all these other little starfishes.
Mm-hmm. See, there he is.
There he is. Yep. He can, it's basically an invasion of the body snatchers kind of story whenever Starro shows up, because if you get the little Starro on your face or on your chest, Starro controls you, takes over the planet, yada, yada, yada.
Didn't he once take over Rip Hunter?
I believe so.
And then take him back to, like, Marie Antoinette days, France, something.
There's a lot of...
Take over the world.
It's Starro. Starro's move is usually, I'm going to take someone over, they're not going to realize it, okay, cool. And I'm so excited.
I remember the Starro storyline from Batman the Brave and the Bold.
Yeah.
Just because that was like the little 2-minute thing in the beginning of the episode, but went on for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, you don't expect... Like, Starro is one of those characters and those threats where you expect that it's going to be a very silly, very easy to solve thing. It's not. It can very quickly become a horror movie. And, like, Suicide Squad could very easily become, it could shift from, Idris Elba's going to fight some starfish, to Idris Elba needs to get the hell out of the room. The starfish are coming for him.
Let's ask this question, Josh. Why is Starro the right villain for James Gunn?
Because he's
James Gunn's Suicide Squad.
You've seen Slither, right?
Right.
Because he's weird.
Yep.
Starro is just such a bizarre character that it fits perfectly within James Gunn's style. I mean, if you look at, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 with
Krishna,
Ego.
by the way, Krishna's in the stream.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Thank you so much for joining us. Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, so
we also have the Super Chat feature.
Oh, yes, that exists now.
Hey, I got to promote that. The Super Chat feature is back. We have it here on the Illuminerdi. Super Chat us. Whoever's going to be the first to Super Chat us, thank you. But anyway, go ahead, Josh.
Yeah,
no, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
it fits. Like, Starro is exactly the type of style that I would expect from James Gunn. We were talking about this a little bit before we hopped on the air, and I said the only other person the only other villain that I could see working with something like James Gunn is Amazo.
I maintain Bizarro would have been a little fun.
Bizarro would have been good too. Shay is in the chat here too, and he says, if it was anyone else but James Gunn, I would say, he says hello,
true.
no.
That's true. When you think
but we're not going to
Starro
read
as a
Shay's.
villain,
We don't read chats anymore that aren't super chats. So, Shay, sorry, buddy. No, I'm just kidding. No, so I actually do think that when we talked about Bizarro being a James Gunn kind of villain, if we did do Bizarro, Bizarro Henry Cavill, the DEC.
Yes.
That'd be so
He just served them a star. He just served them a star.
Yep.
I think that's also a thing that DC now kind of has.
There it is. Super
nice.
Chat.
Does that count count though because I have to give that money back.
Still counts.
But no, I think that's an area where DC kind of has a one up on.
There's a super chat by Shay.
And what are they saying in the super chat?
All right,
sorry.
says super chat is back.
Yeah.
And Shay said, "Ta-da! There it is. That's super chat. Thank you so much, Shay. Also a great proud member here at the Illuminerdi. Now I want to talk about this. Now we're gonna switch gears. We're gonna go through a lot of DC here in this course, this little preview show. So we got about 14 minutes to the
we don't got long.
We got time to kill.
So I want to talk about Wonder Woman 84, and this one's for you, Tatiana.
Oh, for me?
Yeah, because we haven't. This movie's been done for a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now
it was supposed to come out over the summer.
Do you think that we get an announcement today that we possibly could get it on HBO Max first for a premium, or kind of like how Disney Plus is doing? Or
well, like Disney did that with Mulan, so I do think it's possible that they would do it with Wonder Woman if they think that they could like save HBO Max with that, because I feel like HBO Max hasn't rolled out as much as they'd like. And I do feel like a lot of tentpole movies are getting a nice boost on digital, and we don't know when it'll come out, otherwise.
Well, I can't remember who brought it up online, but another critic I mentioned the idea that from what we know about Wonder Woman, Maxwell Lord's character, the version of Maxwell Lord that we're getting, who's going to be the primary villain, is very much a Trump riff.
Yes.
I've heard the
So
same thing.
you want it to come out before he loses the election.
Ideally. Knock on all the wood. So that is something I think kind of gives it a little bit more credence to maybe it will drop on HBO Max. It does. Wonder Woman kind of does have a window it should try to go in if it really wants to hit that relevancy level, really hit as hard as it could with Maxwell.
I think the only reason not to do it is if you are very afraid of losing money. But I feel like most people that want to see Wonder Woman would pay to see it on digital.
Now, I have a question for everybody in the chat, for all of you guys watching. Oh, Migdalia's here!
Yay!
Give it up for our director of programming, Migdalia. I do have a question for everybody in the chat right now. What are you most excited for in DC Fandome? Are we talking Wonder Woman 1984? Are we talking James Gunn Suicide Squad? How about the Snyder Cut? We also got,
I'm excited to see Cheetah.
You know what? For all of you TV fans also, Doom Patrol, Titans,
Harley Quinn.
I mean, The Flash, The Flash Season 7.
That's true. The Flash is today. And maybe for Harley Quinn, they'll actually announce if we're getting a Season 3.
Which would be very nice.
That would be great.
There's a lot to be excited about here at DC Fandome. So let's get into it a little bit more, dive a little deeper. Let's switch gears. I want to talk about the Snyder Cut. The infamous Snyder Cut. We're finally going to get it on HBO Max. Guys, what do you think Zack Snyder has planned for us today? And Josh, go ahead.
I think we're going to find out whether it's going to be a full-length movie or broken down into a series.
Brandon, what surprises do you think we're going to get from the Snyder Cut?
I would not be surprised if we got a tease of the Apocalypse prologue that he really wanted to do.
Yeah.
We might get to see, a shot of Darkseid, or, some imposing thing that's meant to be Darkseid.
We already saw a kind of deleted scene or, a reconfigured scene.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if we got, one more of those, maybe with, hopefully, some more explosive information contained in it, that would be great.
Yeah, and I think that there's been a ton of DC news this week. We know that Ben Affleck is coming back as Batman for the Flash movie.
Yay, Batfleck.
It's going to be at least for
Which
a
makes
cameo.
total sense if it's Flashpoint, right?
Yeah.
You want to see how you move from one Batman to the other.
And it also seems like that might be the way to wrap up this version of the DCEU before, who knows, maybe before he gets retconned to the Snyder Cut, maybe before they try something completely new with there being a multiverse now. Another big thing that we got a lot of this week is Batman stuff. So the Batman, we got the symbol. Mm-hmm. We've seen more of the Batmobile. We've seen more of the suit. What can we expect from Matt Reeves' Batman, Tatiana?
Oh, I don't know. Because they barely started filming, right? So it's really just going to be maybe announcements of another character.
Well, maybe a trailer.
Yeah,
maybe a teaser.
A teaser, a 30-second teaser.
I don't think you're wrong about bringing up that we might actually get to see Paul Dano's Riddler. We might get to see Colin Farrell's Penguin. We might get to see Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman.
Really. Oh, I would love that.
Really briefly. Yeah. But it would be a cool
at the very least, the costume, photos of them in the shot full shots.
Even just kind of the way Pattinson's been shown of like, oh, it's Batman, but he's in the dark. Like, it could be like Catwoman, but she's in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's talk about some of the news we broke and if we can possibly expect any of that getting confirmed today.
Let's
start with Shazam.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier this month, we broke that Shazam's going to start filming in, I believe, 2021 for a 2022 release. Do you think we get anything in Shazam 2, Brandon?
No, I think the biggest thing we're going to get from Shazam 2 is going to be that.
Confirmation of...
It's going to be the confirmation of that. We'll get the confirmation of who's showing up. We might get Mark Strong is coming back as Savannah. We might get... Mr. Mind might get, like, a new voice actor.
Right.
I think that if we're going to get anything from the Shazam corner of the DCEU, it's going to be Black Adam related.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Black Adam, there's 2 big stories we dropped this week, and also one that we're going to talk about that's coming into light. It's not on our website. We haven't put it out in an article, but it's been a lot of speculation. Number one thing I want to talk about with Black Adam, we're going to lead into our big one, but it's Cyclone, an Alexandra ship type, which is kind of ironic seeing as Alexandra ship played Storm.
Right.
Tatiana, what are your feelings on this, and what are some actresses that might fill that role in your head from that Alexandra ship type?
I feel like, for me, I guess my question is, like, I didn't know Alexandra Shipp well enough in this world outside of playing Storm to be like, what is an Alexandra Shipp type?
Right.
You know?
It's like play casting director.
Right. So for me, I mean, like, I'm like, oh, okay, well, to me that suggests at least that they're open, they want to cast me be a black actress.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Which I would be very excited to see. So in
I'd
that
say,
case,
it's same.
like, not that I even think of her. She's not an Alexandra Shipp type, but Keke Palmer.
Oh, okay.
Because I think that I'm like, oh, Zoe Kravitz, Kiersey Clemens is what I think of when I think of Alexandra Shipp.
See,
But obviously both of those are taken. So
She was going with Casey.
yeah, it's just like, well, except unless she's not playing Iris because she's gonna play Cyclone.
Big shout out to Migdalia. Does anybody else think that Migdalia resembles Zoe Kravitz a little bit?
A bit, yeah.
I can see that. I can see that.
So,
I would cast Migdalia.
I want to ask you guys in the chat where you guys are streaming from. We want to thank you for joining us this early Saturday morning if you're on the West Coast. If you're on the East Coast, it's afternoon for you, roughly. But thank you so much for joining us. We got Shay, Migdalia, Jezer, Krishna. A lot of you guys from the Illuminerdi are in here. And some of you guys that join us every week for our Ranger shows, which are preempted this week for DC Fandome. Now, Krishna's looking forward to the Suicide Squad in Batman teaser footage mostly, as are a lot of people. Now, Flash also says we can probably get some concept art about the Batcave. What do you guys think about that?
That would be great.
That would be great.
Some great set photos for sure. Yeah.
I think because it'd be a good indicator because we know that this is going to be a thinking man's Batman, but this is going to be more of a detective story. This is going to be less of Batman's going to punch people as Batman's figuring stuff out. So seeing the Batcave is going to be really important, I think, because it's a great idea of this is how limited to the scale of this Batman.
Back to Black Adam, the other big story we dropped was that the studio was eyeing Alexander Skarsgård for the role of Hawkman. Now, again, I want to clarify he was just being eyed by the studio, not cast.
Mean that
he's not cast. And we have a further update, at least a wild rumor on that story that we're going to talk about in just a second. But let's talk about Alexander Skarsgård for that role, and who else do you think can possibly fit that role if that's the prototype that they're looking for? Alexander Skarsgård, best known for True Blood, also did Tarzan. Seems like he got a big Battleship, got a big push from Warner Brothers. Seems like they want to cast him. Josh, what do you think first about Alexander Skarsgård in this role of Hawkman?
I think he's an interesting choice. Like, I liked him in True Blood, but in other movies that I've seen him in, he hasn't really given me that. Yeah. Like, I didn't see Tarzan, so I don't really know how he was in that. But I did see what was it, a Mute, and Battleship, which was just a train.
Mute here.
Yeah.
Thing about Alexander Skarsgård, I think physically he's imposing enough to go
absolutely,
head to hit the rock, 100%. Brandon, do you like Alexander Skarsgård for the role?
I do. I mean, I personally am not the biggest Hawkman guy, so I think having Skarsgård in that role, you need somebody who's just going to, like you said, somebody who can go toe-to-toe with Black Adam, who can bring that right level of gravitas to it. And I think Skarsgård is a good pick for that. I'm just generally hesitant about Carter Hall in general.
Right. I mean, for me, it gives me like a Viking kind of vibe when I think of Alexander Skarsgård. You know, like I feel like I can see him be like an ancient. You know, he's like passing on an ancient lineage. Sure, I can see that. But like you, I'm like, Carter Hall.
Hawkman.
Do I have feelings about Hawkman? But if if they are looking for someone like him, you know, the wild rumor is indeed wild.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. But actually, the reason I brought up Alexander Skarsgård and Hawkman, Tatiana, you have seen Hawkman in the past in other DC incarnations.
Yes, like the Legends of Tomorrow.
Right,
Hawkman
most notably Legends of Tomorrow. And I want to talk about
that was.
Well, Tatiana, why didn't you like that portrayal of Carter?
Well, first off, he wasn't like anything. You know, like he certainly wasn't.
It's a plot device.
Yeah, well, he was a plot device as a character, just like for a love triangle that no one even wanted. But also, just he didn't leave much of an impression. Like not saying like the actor didn't, but just the way that the character was portrayed, the way that he was written, he didn't feel like he was either, you know, otherworldly or knowledgeable or ancient or anything. You know. So
I always got this impression, and I'm not a Hawkman hater. I actually like Hawkman. I've always had this affinity for him. I've always been a big fan, especially during that Thanagar kind of run, the Thanagar War and Adam Strange. I really do like Hawkman. I do like Alexander Skarsgård, but here's a wild rumor that we are hearing that it's possible that John Krasinski might be up for this role too.
Yeah,
which might crush a few Marvel fans' hopes of Mr. Fantastic, or who knows, maybe he can play both. But what do you guys think? That is a wild rumor, right?
Me,
it is.
I know that he's obviously done dramatic work too. Like you can't discount him as a dramatic actor. But thinking of
Jack
John
Reacher,
Krasinski,
right?
Yeah, or even
not Jack Reacher.
Jack
Ryan.
Jack
Ryan.
He's actually really good at Jack Ryan too.
Yeah.
Also,
So
that's a good point.
Yeah, it's not like he can't do it for sure. But like when I think of him as Hawkman, makes me think it's more like kind of like a goofy version, you know, or just like someone that's like I just wandered in and now I am a historian,
like a Jim as Hawkman.
Yeah, like Jim as Hawkman.
He would be bummer. He would be
I don't think that's
bummer,
fair. I don't think
bummer.
that's fair whatsoever because he hasn't played a character like him in quite a long
it
time.
wouldn't be like that, but I feel like the impression he gives off is more just like your everyday man, you know, who's in an extraordinary.
Well, maybe that's
Right.
what we need because Hawkman is an archaeologist, right?
And he's constantly reincarnated, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, it would be like, I don't know if you guys maybe watch Legends Tomorrow, but like Nate, the character of Nate who becomes Steel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Look at
kind
what this
of
California heat has done.
That's
to
the
you.
kind of
You're looking for this.
I mean, I did like on Smallville, the guy that they had playing Hawkman on there.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember his name.
Stargate or something.
Yeah. I don't remember the actor's name. Michael Shanks. Yeah. Like he wasn't bad for that version of Hawkman. Because what they did with the character there was also pretty good.
Chester says, let's be real, it doesn't matter who they cast for the JSA. The Rock will carry the whole movie.
That's why.
That is actually.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, I mean,
if
even
the JSA does really well, like if we like the JSA to leave an impression, then we could get a JSA movie.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
we want to have people that really embody
Good step
those
forward.
roles. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. In terms of cinematic DC stuff, which is the big portion of the news that we're really waiting for, no disrespect to the comics, TV, or video games,
Right.
but the film side is what we're really waiting for. What movie do you think is the most anticipated, though? Because there's a lot in the pipeline. We got Black Adam. We got the Batman. We got the Snyder Cut, depending on if that's a movie. Wonder Woman 1984. Suicide Squad. Right now,
Aquaman.
Shazam.
the Flash.
Flash. I think that the
Flash, if it happens. I mean,
but there's
I
a
don't
lot.
know.
There's a lot that DC has to offer right now, and I think that it's very exciting to be. By the way, we got about a minute left, 30 seconds left until it starts. I think we're gonna stay on this stream, right?
Yeah. We can keep going.
So
obviously, if you guys don't want to watch us watching it, you can watch it and come back.
Yeah,
or if you want to watch
or
it,
just keep watching
it'll
us.
be here. So
we're
Yeah.
doing our best to kind of
It's the best of both worlds.
right.
Let me see if I can adjust our view here so we can actually see it in front
Oh
of
yeah,
us.
you can.
That might be nice.
So we're going to be doing our best to carry programming throughout this DC fandom thing and giving you the latest thing. I know we're starting off hot with Wonder Woman 84. We're expected to see
A
Cheetah
trailer. Yeah,
and a
Cheetah
trailer.
trailer.
We've
hopefully.
already seen a few trailers at
Yeah,
this point.
but like this will be, I think it's gonna have like more action in it. Hopefully.
Okay.
Ideally, yeah.
Do you think that what movie turns around the DCEU? Because right now let's be honest about it. It's an inferior product compared to Marvel. Oh, here we go. We're starting it off, guys.
I think Wonder Woman 1984 should, put it on track and be like two good Wonder Woman.
Yeah, how we're going forward.
There's the John Williams theme.
Yeah, I might have to turn that down a little bit for copyright.
Guys in the chat, let me know if you can hear the audio from this. We're gonna try and get it like really, really low, just so that we don't get flagged.
Right.
So let us know so that we can kind of gauge where we need to be.
Yeah. So that was a great opening.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Here we go. Now this is oh,
Starts soon.
man, that's so loud, Josh.
It keeps changing the volume.
Yeah, every time it changes the screen, the volume changes.
So let me ask you guys
Let me see
this
if I
about
can-
DC Fandom. Now, we've talked about a lot about what's going to be revealed, but one thing that we haven't talked about is what can we expect from fandom? Do you think this is going to be like like the digital convention done right?
I hope so.
I mean, I've already got
It's
more.
already looking
Yeah,
good.
I've already got more hope that. Oh my!
Yeah. Like this looks
Hey,
really
it's
cool.
Hey, we're
Yeah.
riding Soren. Okay,
Yeah, that's really fun.
that was fun. This is already a better presentation, I
I think
think,
like, I
than
was hearing like
some of the other stuff we've
the
seen this year.
website was having a couple of issues. Like that's what I'm most concerned about. That it's all
This is
on
gonna
the
be
website. So like if that crashes or overloads, then we'll have some problems.
Yeah.
All right, who's our host right now?
This is actually a really cool setup here.
Yeah.
This is awesome so far.
Okay.
Who is that?
I don't know. But she seemed really cool. I know. Actually, I do know her. I can't remember her name. That's
This is pretty cool. Is this all Jim Lee art?
It looks like it.
That's all Jim Lee are.
yeah.
I mean, hell, he's one of the only editors we've still got in DC right now.
Oh my god.
So-
Poor DC.
Sorry.
You know what?
Yeah, keep talking.
We know what first is going to be Wonder Woman, which we're excited about. Are you hoping for a surprise here at the trailer?
I am hoping for a surprise.
If there is a
Yeah.
surprise, what would you want that to be?
I mean, I don't know. I guess either like more characters that we haven't previously been revealed, or just a little bit more insight into the Steve Trevor mystery, right?
Yeah, because that's a big part
Right. It's
of
like a big
the
topic.
right. Because
Yeah.
Steve Trevor, as we know, didn't make it out of the first film, so this should be pretty interesting.
Shrink it down
Oh,
again.
this is
Now, Tatiana, I have to ask you. Let's talk about the TV side of things. You're a
Okay.
big expert here.
oh,
What are we expecting TV side? Because we got Superman and Lois also. Anything coming out of that? You think? What's the biggest buzz TV side wise?
I mean, like, what is today? We've got Titans, Doom Patrol, and Flash. Is that right?
And Harley Quinn.
And Harley Quinn. So I would definitely. I mean, I think of those, probably Doom Patrol and Flash are what I'm most excited about personally, and also I think what has like the most buzz in general.
Oh, we got a big super chat from Larry Newbill.
Oh,
Dang,
hey!
it's been a while
wow.
Since I've seen that super chat box. Thank you so much, Larry.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Larry.
Larry.
Streaming out of St. Louis, or streaming out of Missouri, I do believe.
Ooh.
All right, now we got a trailer here of what we're looking to be all DC cinematic.
Okay.
And TV, yeah, it looks like
this.
this is all over.
Oh,
Doom
yeah, Doom
Do
Doom
you
Patrol.
Patrol.
think,
all
though,
this
guys, do you think that
Green
this
Arrow,
can lead into
Watchmen,
I guess this is going to
Joker.
be a multiverse of what DC is right
Well,
now.
yeah, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
supposedly Flashpoint's is gonna incorporate the whole multiverse.
Yeah,
too,
so
right? Yeah.
one of the panels that hopefully we should be able to see this morning is the Multiverse 101, where they're going to be talking about everything. Like, I thought that was a comic book thing when I first saw the panel, but it's actually like the
it's gonna be
entire
the film and
DC
television.
universe.
Yeah, I mean, like ever
I'm
since
the-
Crisis had Ezra meet Grant, like there's no
It
reason
counts.
why everything. Can
It's
come
all
together.
in the multiverse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Do you think, because now we know that Marvel is obviously doing their own multiverse with Doctor Strange, the
Right.
Multiverse of Madness.
Mhm.
What do you think? Who do you think is going to win the war on the multiverse here?
Let's be, let's wait for DC to do anything with it.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
they did already with
so-
Crisis.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I think DC has a bit of DC. Obviously, the quality is kind of.
Right.
But I think they have a leg up on the actual multiverse
terms
thing,
of, like, source material?
as far as on source material with TV. Marvel, we know that they're getting rid of like the continuity of Agents of Shield and like
Right.
all the Netflix stuff.
That's
so
one part where Marvel has kind of like Agents of Shield is the only like truly successful Marvel show, if you will, just because Netflix ones got cut off.
They got
Yeah.
ended.
The legs
so
got cut off, and I think most people agree that they past the first season, none of them were great.
Oh, that's right.
And then so that's one side.
I mean,
of the DC
Iron
does
Fist
have
season
one.
2 was better than Iron Fist season 1.
I
Well,
mean,
that's true.
getting hit with a
Iron
car
Fist
was better
was
than
the only
Iron
one
Fist
that
1.
So let me ask you guys this, and one thing I don't want to go overlooked real quick is that so far, DC
Oh, they just showed
fandom
Ryan Reynolds.
has been killing it, like in terms of like no streaming problems. It
Right.
seems like it's actually working. So in that scale, this does feel a little bit more like Comic-Con than
Right.
Comic-Con.
Yeah.
That's god, yeah.
Actually,
I feel like
yeah,
when
this
I-
actually feels
I
like a
think
You guys
whole
gotta be
A.
careful of talking over each other because
Sorry. Yeah.
Go ahead. What were you saying?
I was just saying, I feel like I didn't even notice SDCC
Yeah.
online happen. It just
Yeah.
Me
passed.
neither. I felt like that was one of those things that it really did just pass. It just happened so quickly.
It did.
It's
And,
not like a grouping of Zoom interviews.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and thinking about it, really, like this actually so far, it feels like a Hall H panel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, here we go. We're going to kick it off with Wonder Woman 88.
84.
I don't know why I said 88. Brandon, real quick, before we get into like dissecting this a little bit, what surprises? What do you want to see?
Come on, Cheetah. Let me see
Right,
some
Cheetah.
Cheetah. Let me see some Kristen Wiig Cheetah.
Let's not wait another minute.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. By the way, that art is beautiful.
Yeah,
There's
it
Patty Jenkins on screen. Let's see what she has to say. We should like turn on closed caption, right?
Yeah. Let me see if I can.
Because if not, that would be an issue.
Right.
Not just for
Look
us,
at
but
all
in
those
general.
fans. Where is this? Oh, this is in Brazil. Is this Brazil? Was that the Brazil footage?
Yeah, I think that was
Yeah.
the one. The
I don't
last
think
bit.
they have.
I don't think they have closed captions.
Okay.
I mean, this is all live, right?
Yeah. Oh, is it live?
Yeah.
English caption?
Oh wait, there we go.
All right. Here we go.
Okay. You destroyed everything.
You know what? This is really cool though that we have the chat on Twitter on the side here.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I like
It
that
is
design
fun.
here.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Okay.
So there's Chris.
Hey.
We have Chris Pine in
Hey,
here.
Chris Pine. What happened?
Is that Kristen Wiig and Patty Jenkins?
Yeah.
Gal Gadot not here yet. This is still pretty cool.
But there's a space for her.
Is this the first time we've had Kristen Wiig really talking about this film?
I think so.
Look at Pedro Pascal. He's going to be playing Maxwell Lord.
Yep.
Oh, I'm so
Which
pumped.
is
I'm very excited to see his Maxwell Lord to be
There's
on
Gal
this.
Gadot.
She's so cute.
I know. She's
Like, look at that
such-
lipstick.
Yeah.
She's such a. That's what you can. She's such a great
And
Wonder Woman.
it's so bright.
It is. Very bright.
It just like really stuck out.
Attention capturing.
Yeah.
Captivating.
Now, I do have a question to ask about this film. Now, if the Snyder Cut somehow becomes the retcon for the DCEU, do you think that they've done enough of this film to kind of serve both the Snyder Cut and post Snyder Cut, like the Whedon cut?
I don't know.
This film,
This
1984,
film,
I think that in a way, like it happens beforehand.
Yeah, so
it
the
should be
fact
alright,
that the fact that it is a prequel, so
Right.
that it happens before the events of Justice League and Batman v Superman will lend itself well to.
But and didn't the first Wonder Woman movie kind of retcon stuff from Batman v Superman too?
Not
yeah,
necessarily.
I think it's like a little bit.
I
Like-
think, like, right.
Oh, here we go. This is some
We've seen most of this.
1984. We have seen a little bit of that footage.
So you're going to see more today. Okay.
I can't wait for the movie to come out either. Miss
Yeah,
Jenkins.
right.
I love how they're doing like the announcer thing, like when you're on the stream and then it's like you just freeze waiting for the person to finish.
I mean, now, it's even rare that we're even together, but like now, that's more so the norm.
That's kind of just how
Right.
you have to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Stupid 2020. We should have seen this movie in June.
right?
They should have made this.
Well, I mean, we should have seen this movie last year.
Oh yeah.
It was because they moved it from last year to
It was
June,
supposed to come
right?
out like
Yeah.
November of 19.
How mad do you think Warner Brothers is that they
That they moved it,
that they
right?
did that they
So,
moved it?
Yeah, they probably
Because
did
they were
that.
like, a summer release is going to be awesome.
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. We got
questions.
fan questions
That's
in
from
here now.
Malaysia.
Right?
That's so awesome.
That's really cool.
So that question is more so about
costume design.
costume design.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. And by the way, let's talk about this. We do see the gold version of her Kingdom Come
we
style.
got all
Was
the-
it the not Valkyrie? What is that? That costume has a name.
Oh.
I
Let me
don't remember off the top of my head.
look it up.
It's very much that Kingdom Come golden
Yeah, it's
armor,
that Kingdom Come kind of golden armor that we're seeing.
which I'm very excited to
Golden
see. this-
Eagle.
Yeah.
Golden
I'm
Eagle.
very excited to see the circumstances we get for Valk's costume because
Yeah.
that's, like these films have played up that she's such a.
Oh, here we go. Here's a little bit of.
Oh.
Well, that's all with the stuff we've seen of her
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
before.
been the trailers.
Still
Like,
exciting, Brandon.
but like the DCEU Diana has been. They've leaned into the demigod aspect, so I'm really curious to see how they play that costume and armor.
I love Pedro Pascal.
He looks so, yeah,
I'm
he
so
looks so
pumped.
great.
Because it's so different than what I'm used to seeing him
Yeah.
look like.
Hey, what are the chances? Do we get the Maxwell Lord like neck break from what was it?
It was the
Infinite
build up.
Crisis?
The build up to
Oh,
Infinite
yeah,
Crisis. I don't know.
And maybe that's why she hides herself from humanity in
That might be why.
Oh.
That's a good point. It would make sense because this Diana does have the first film had its whole thing of we're gonna stop conflict and end war by killing it. Like, it's that Kingdom Come idea that she can sometimes preach peace but teach violence. And having to do that next snap would be a really big thing for them.
Oh, what a cutie!
That's great. Kiara from Tokyo, Japan. What was it like working all together? This is a great way to do a panel, I would say. Fantastic.
Just excited.
By the way, I love her as Wonder Woman.
She's really good.
So good.
She might be the best casting the DCU has done.
And people were very skeptical at first. I think she totally.
I wasn't necessarily skeptical. I just had not seen her in much.
Well, I think it's because I saw personally around that time. At least I knew a lot of other women that were not as happy about her being cast because she didn't have the build as Wonder Woman.
Right.
And I was like, here's the thing. I think that there's a little bit of as a guy, it's not like Hugh Jackman's 6'4". He's not 5'4".
Yeah.
He's not.
But comic nerds.
But I think he's great. I think he's great as Wolverine.
But comic nerds still complain that he was too short. That it wasn't short enough.
Yeah,
I should say.
Yeah, people always do that. They always want to be exactly right. It's like, and then if you were to cast someone based on looks, they'd be like, "Why aren't you looking for talent?"
So I just got a notice that the DC Fandome online store for like buying merch and stuff crashed. There are so many people watching it that are
good
on it right
for
now.
DC Fandome.
Yeah,
that
right?
Apparently very successful. So well done, DC.
As long as the stream doesn't crash.
Yeah.
Who do you think in this film is going to is going to be the one character that people talk about by the end of it? For the good or the bad.
Maxwell Lord.
Yeah.
You can't have Wonder Woman fighting the current president of the United States without drawing some real attention.
Right.
Let's take some what you guys are talking about in the chat right now. Illuminerdi Shady, whatever your name is, Shady. This is the dumbest name ever.
Hey, leave him alone. He is Illuminati that is shady.
It's good to see DC Stream works instead of being overloaded and crashing. LOL. Unless you're the DC Fandom store. I still haven't finished Wonder Woman. Well, you should. Larry Nubo says, so far the stream is going well. D. Mikey Nerd Gaming says, he's stuck at work. I think that's Mikey Perez. Edward Sanchez says, he is hyped.
As he should be.
Jared Hodges says, Gal Gadot played a really good Wonder Woman. We cannot disagree with that.
Let me ask I love that Kristen thinks that Cheetah would win in a tennis match.
Kristen Wiig, what do you guys think about that casting for Cheetah?
Very surprising.
Yeah.
I like it because it gives us like the Barbara.
It leans into the Barbara maneuver.
Exactly.
It leans into the humanity of the character, which is not something that usually happens with Cheetah.
Pedro Pascal's not the number one choice that most people would think for Maxwell Lord.
No.
But I think that he is charismatic.
He's a great pick.
That he's going to knock it out of the park.
He's a great pick. He's an unlikely pick, but he's a great pick for that role. Wig, it's why I'm so excited to see Wig as Cheetah. Is that I want to see that balance. I want to see that transition because if she's playing like a mousy character who then becomes a manic Kristen Wiig character, would be a major version of that like transformation.
Yeah. Oh. She's so pretty.
She is. The fish out of water question. Now, how hard do you think it is to keep these secrets? Like, he's shot this is already done. He knows what his character's role is. And to his credit, it has not leaked yet necessarily why or how he's there. So what do you guys think? Do you think that it's been a tough time keeping all this? Look at that fanny pack.
I feel like, especially because it's so delayed now.
Yeah.
Whenever it should have come out. Like, it's like, at this point, you're just like, what did I even do? What is the movie about again?
He's going to be just as excited by everybody else. Like, watching it.
So true. My job's to be in love with Gal.
All right, so DC's not necessarily known for their post-credit scenes, but if Wonder Woman does have one, what is it?
Like her next era?
Or maybe
2029!
Maybe something leading into Flashpoint?
Oh yeah, that would be interesting.
It could be Flashpoint.
But then they had to actually do Flashpoint.
I would not... again, pure speculation. I would love a tease for Dr. Psycho or something like that.
Yeah.
Somebody who's like picking up where Lord, somebody inspired by Lord,
right,
and like in the modern day, like somebody who loves Maxwell Lord's book that he says is an autobiography that isn't. And it turns out to be Dr. Psycho could be really fun.
Yeah.
As long as it's better than I think it's time we made a league of our own.
Right.
That's all I want.
Yeah. The bar
I
is low.
find it so
The bar
interesting.
isn't
There's
down.
so many small pinpoints, like lines like that people pick up on. That it's like, to me, those aren't big deals.
It's not a big. It's just one of those things that I just find endlessly humorous.
Mm-hmm.
That's the line that they chose to go with.
These.
This is interesting. I think that the initial reaction when they brought Chris Pine back was a state of like,
What?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're very much like, wait a second.
I mean,
I
I-
also remember the rumors that Chris Pine is possibly playing the Green Lantern, and it's
He's playing Hal.
Yeah.
He might be playing Hal.
You guys remember that stuff?
Yeah.
I do,
There's
I do.
always tons. Like I feel DC has done a really good job at making people question absolutely everything about every decision. They make.
Wait a minute, we
I
got
love them
a
having
last
special-
question
yeah.
here from a special
I
guest.
love them having that, like Venus Williams, and then
Oh wow, this is Linda Carter.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's so cool. Linda Carter.
There's been, have you guys, but there's been the rumors that she might show up in Flashpoint.
She better.
She'd
She'd
be
better.
one of the realities. That
That'd be
Flash would
so
running,
great.
Be run into Linda Carter.
Love
Whatever.
that.
At that point, though, aren't we just retreading what they did in Crisis on Infinite?
Pretty much,
Yeah.
but with a
More-
movie,
more or
but with
less.
a movie budget, so it's
Exactly.
it's bigger stuff.
Yeah.
It's not just going to be Knox and Dirt Ward,
What are
as
the
great as it
chances?
was to see
And the
Dirt
world
Ward.
isn't about to end. It's just not good.
And it's a different version of the Flash. Well, it's, also,
Barry!
it's a different version of the Flash causing the problem too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Barry.
We also have to realize too that we have to assume. I mean, not assume. That's the wrong word. We have to speculate
Mhm.
that since Ezra Miller made an appearance in the Flash TV show, that Grant Gustin probably is going to make an appearance in this
I
Flash
hope
movie.
so.
I
I
really
would
hope
love
so
it.
too.
Yeah.
Honestly, here's my fantasy ending of this movie.
Okay.
Is that it happens the same way in the comics, where it's a new Batman, but the Flash that is giving the letter to Bruce is Grant Gustin.
Oh.
And Grant
okay.
Gustin then becomes the cinematic Flash, kind of wrapping up the TV show.
Oh
And,
wow.
you wrap up the Batflex.
Wow.
Right. Because I feel like Grant
So like
Gustin,
replacing Ezra?
yeah, that's I think he's great.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I also think he's great, obviously.
Isn't
That would
don't
be
you feel
wild.
like that would be such a natural transition to kind of end the show and like, all right, you're the cinematic Flash.
That'd be awesome, except that Candace would still have to be Iris.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
absolutely.
I can't accept it.
I think that's
Yeah.
why
But you
not?
can bring Candace for that.
Exactly, yeah. Be like, come on.
They're the only two.
I mean,
where's Vibe?
But
Where's Vibe?
the difference though would be now they have a movie budget. I mean, I don't want to shit on the writers of the TV show,
Mhm.
but you would have not a better writing crew, but a different writing crew that would be spending more time.
You'd have the
being able
ability to be more ambitious.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there is what you're saying. I think is like movie budget, television budget. One of them allows you a lot more freedom to do crazy, like super speed.
Right.
movies.
Because I don't think Candice Patton is a bad actor. I just think that what they're doing with her on the TV show isn't working.
Can you cut to a full screen of you and Brandon? I will be right back.
Well, I mean, Tatiana's still gonna be
We're
here.
gonna
Yeah,
add
I'll be
another.
here.
We're gonna add another person
Okay.
into this.
Oh,
James here.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So all right.
I don't know.
Figure
Do
that
you
out.
still watch The Flash?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do.
Well, I thought the
I
Supergirl
watch
was good for
all of the
years.
DC TV shows now except for Supergirl.
Which was good this last year. I enjoyed Supergirl a lot.
I fell
This
off of
last year.
Supergirl its second season on the CW.
John Cryer as Lex Luthor is quietly the
He's
best
actually
Lex.
Yeah.
really good.
He's
a
quietly
really good
the
Lex
best Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
He's the most comics accurate Lex.
Mhm.
He's the bit in the Supergirl episode where he's like orchestrating the bombings that are murdering all the federal
Yeah.
agents who have come
I
to
love how
arrest
they're
him.
paying their props to Linda Carter, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, Kristen Wiig geeking out about Linda
Yeah.
Carter was very, very cute.
That's always
adorable. That's
always one of the things I really enjoy is seeing the actors or directors or whoever it is that's involved with the project geeking out about this stuff because like you see fans online all the time going, "Oh, I could direct a better movie than these
Right,
people."
But that's not. you know,
But seeing
Not
them
true.
talk about it, and you're like, these people are fans of this material.
I'll always go.
Welcome, Daniel. Welcome.
Hey! I'll always go
Welcome,
to.
Yes, yes. That's
You
right.
remember when Andrew
Yes,
Garfield
Dash,
got cast as Spider-Man?
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, yeah.
They're-
Aw. Yeah.
Joe, you've changed.
Yeah.
I said to myself, it's kind of warm outside. Let me change from gray to something a little bit darker. So, Nightwing it is.
Yeah. Oh my God, that is so cute. Look at that.
That's a really good costume.
That's a great costume.
That's Nubia,
Yeah.
though. That's not.
Nubia.
That's Nubia. I'm saying that's what it is.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. I
So
love
there's
these
the Wonderman.
cosplay. The cosplay's so great.
Yeah,
Here's
we
the
can
cosplay right
ship down this way. Move on to.
When are we gonna get our trailer? Trailer.
But like talking about the fandom, I know it's Marvel related, but that amazing Spider-Man Comic-Con reveal where Andrew Garfield showed up in a costume as Spider-Man to just read a prepared speech about how much that meant to him. That was so.
I'm so sorry.
That's the only good thing that came out of it.
Wild buddy.
So
Careful, we're live, so everybody can hear
Hey,
you.
look, everyone should know about our
Yes.
buddy.
We are
That's
spicy.
such a cute one.
Let's go right there.
I love that.
I
I want that. I want that picture.
All right. Okay, so we are packed in here. Safely, by the way. I want to say safely, by the way. Welcome, Daniel, to the stream.
Safely.
Yeah, we don't get to show everyone everything we have to go through. We have to come through here. We have to wash up.
We have to walk through a door.
Yeah, well, we have a temperature thing and all that, so you guys can see it.
It's like stepping through a wall. It's like stepping through a car wash.
But
the way to get here,
you-
it's a lot.
You guys didn't see me this morning going through the decontamination chamber where I had to it was like that scene in Star Trek where I had to rub it stuff all over my body and.
Yeah, but no.
I don't know why you guys just don't swap your skin out. It's
Yeah,
much
right?
easier.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's
We're not lizard people.
Back to this panel, though, we have to. This film is going to be a lot about women in power. Oh, that's beautiful.
That
Look
is
at
a
this
beautiful
art.
art.
That's really good.
Oh wow,
That's
from
really
India.
good.
What
Love
excites
that.
you, Tatiana, for Wonder Woman 1984?
Well, many things excite me. Just to see Gal again, because she gave such an excellent performance in the first movie.
Yeah.
Also to expand the world more, to get to see Wonder Woman against some iconic villains from her comic book series. Because Ares, let's be honest, was
A little boring.
Ares was flop.
There's Nubia.
Nubia! And then finally, Steve, Trevor, and Wonder Woman are like one of my top ships.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for DC. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I love the reversal of it. You know, with
I don't know. The reversal is cool. The
like
reversal is
ending
really
in damsel
cool.
distress. So to get a repeat of that, even though I think it's going to have a heartbreaking ending, obviously, I'm sure that he's like,
know what's gonna happen.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
come on.
exactly.
So
I'm
Daniel,
ready to cry again.
let me
That's what I'm
ask
saying.
you. I got to ask you a question about Wonder Woman 1984.
I'm a DC fanboy, so yeah.
I know what everybody kind of wants to see, what the excitement is. What are you most excited to get out of Wonder Woman 1984? What, out of this panel when we're kicking off?
Out of this panel, I want to see as much footage as possible. I want to see something that we didn't get to see in the trailer. Oh, and here we go.
Okay. Oh yeah, the Amazonian Olympics.
This scale of this looks epic.
I love that the caption's there. I hope it.
Is that the same young girl that played her in the first film?
I don't
I
think
I
so.
doubt it.
No,
It's probably at this point it
I
might
know,
have been
yeah,
too
she
long.
would
No,
have.
she has been older, right? Well, then again, this was...
That is the coolest concept.
Writing the
I just have to
dude.
say, hey, I enjoy that Shay is sending me messages on Teams telling me what's happening in fandom as if we don't have it in front of us and behind us
Are
right
you
now.
watching the stream, Shay? Like,
It's Shay.
guys, mind you, all of us except Brandon were around in 1980. Well, Tati, I don't know if you were around.
No, I was
in
not
1984.
around in 1980.
The rest of us three were. Does this give you the feel like this was 1984?
Look,
So
I was born-
far?
I was born in the 80s, lived in the 90s.
So he remembers
So
her.
I don't
He
really
remembers
know.
her.
I really
But he
don't
doesn't.
know.
But he doesn't know why he's here.
What do you mean, Trevor?
Yeah,
Oh, I'll tell you everything right now. After this.
I want to be an apex predator.
Oh, here we go. I can't wait to see this cheetah costume.
Oh,
This movie looks
I'm
cute.
gonna cry. Girl, relax.
Oh,
Okay.
here we go.
Oh,
It said we're supposed to see her in the
Yeah,
actual...
that's-
well, she was wearing a leopard print.
She
Yeah.
might get like the full
Yeah.
transformation might be down.
So-
It's probably gonna be like progressive over the course of the movie.
So far, I will say that the action in this film looks
Yeah.
pretty epic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way
yeah.
it cannot be. Right now, this is like a
My-
flagship kind of project.
My biggest
Come on,
fear
Invisible Jet.
My biggest fear
Yep, there it is.
that third act of the movie, because that third act of
Uh-huh.
the first movie kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
So hopefully this one stays consistent
Yeah.
all the way through.
There it is.
Oh!
That looks good, guys.
Yeah.
That looks really good.
At least on quick glance.
I
You
love
know,
it.
I'll tell you everything. I'll watch it.
So now so now we know that DC is better at putting hair on people than taking it off.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Wonder Woman
okay.
84.
Hey, cheetah.
That was
All
good.
right.
Oh wait, that's this.
Cute. The fanny bit.
By the way, The fanny pack is completely a shout out to Jezer.
That's
Jezer
Jezer
is the
shout out.
that king. If you have, I gotta set up a fanny
But it was
pack.
only in theaters.
That was awesome.
Only in theaters, though.
Okay,
It
Only
doesn't.
in theaters.
Only in theaters. We might not be
It's
getting
like these
that.
little people standing on the stage look a little ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie, like a little ridiculous.
I get it. Yeah.
Guys, Pedro Pascal's
real
gonna
quick,
eat
real
me.
quick, what was the reaction to the trailer?
Amazing.
Yay!
So never before
Yes.
seen.
So good.
Yes.
So good.
I love that they had to have a clothing montage. It's always got to have, and now it's Steve Trevor in the 80s. Perfect.
Well, an 80s clothing montage.
Exactly.
It's a thing that needs to happen, and we got to see it. Maxwell Lord, we got to see exactly what's going on there. Do you guys want to know what people are saying the whole story is so far, or do we not want to do that?
I mean,
As long as it's a wild rumor with no basis.
Okay, I'm not going to say anything. Because there are bits and pieces where it's like, oh, someone has this, someone has that. Someone has that.
yeah, but it's all. I mean, it's all speculation.
It's all speculation. So then
Right, so if it's speculation, then go for it.
Okay, so speculation. Rumors have it. Ladies and
Rumors
gentlemen,
have it.
rumors have it. It's not saying that we have the
Right, we don't know for sure.
And if we did, it's not the best place to break it. So rumors have
Well,
it.
we did break news on here earlier.
That's
So.
true. Well,
It wasn't our news to break, but hey.
We broke it.
rumors have it that the way the story is going to go, there's.
Oh, I think we're behind a little bit here. Sorry.
Oh, jeez. Well, speed it up then. Let's go.
Let me see if I can skip
There's
ahead.
some particular jewel or something
There we
that
go.
everyone makes
yeah.
some level of a wish on, where what's her name? Cheetah makes that wish that says, "I want to be like you," etc., etc. So the thing starts to happen where there's a shift in power.
Did
then
Diana
Wonder
wish
Woman
to
starts
see Steve again? Is
Yes,
that why he's here? Yeah,
exactly.
that's what I thought
So
from the start.
she
That's what I
starts to
expected from the
lose.
start.
She starts to
Yeah.
lose.
What was that? Michael B. Jordan?
That was a Michael B. Jordan and
Wait.
Superman fan art.
That's all. I
It's
love
not
that.
fan art, though.
Yeah.
Okay,
It was him
I
as
thought you meant
Valzad,
that
I
was
think.
Michael B. Jordan's fan art.
Fan art,
And I was
yeah,
like,
I
wait,
was
what?
Actually, Justin Casually an amazing artist.
It is interesting that they would include a fan art of Michael B.
No.
Jordan, though.
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
pretty cool.
Well,
Yeah.
It's fan art, man. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But so with that, she makes a wish for Trevor. That's why he's back. Cheetah makes a wish to be like Wonder Woman as far as strength and all that stuff. So that's why she has the powers. Wonder Woman has to wear that suit because, unfortunately, now she has almost no powers left.
Right.
So she has to wear that suit to be able to battle Cheetah.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
Trevor, not Trevor.
Sorry, I'm
Maxwell Lord.
Okay.
I'm gonna completely refresh this. I'm being told that we're actually a couple of minutes behind.
Oh.
Okay. Maxwell Lord has to make. He makes some wish for some power. Blah blah. That's why we have that scene where the camera.
Are you a couple minutes behind too up here?
Yeah.
I think yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's still these weird little claymation creatures, so it's fine.
But so that's pretty much
Unmute.
what we got for that story of what's happening, and
Well, now it's starting
that's
to lag.
what rumor has it to be so far.
Okay.
So I mean, we'll see how much that is true. It kind of still matches up.
Right.
There's other portions of it where people are going into exactly what's going to happen and how it's going to end. I'm not going into that. Just wanted to get you guys set up.
That's a shame. That sounds legit to me.
Yeah.
Especially the wish part is exactly what I was expecting.
Yeah.
So
I'm
it'll be interesting. I'm excited.
So Wonder
And I
Woman
like this
84.
concept of consumerism or just
Chat, I gotta ask you guys, what do you guys think of that Wonder Woman 84 trailer? That was our first look at Cheetah. We also have a little bit more footage, a lot more action. I want to know what you guys thought. We got Larry Newville in here. We also got that super chat feature. So if you guys want to use that, help support the Illuminerdi, we would truly appreciate it. But you don't have to. You don't necessarily have to hit that super chat feature. Hit that subscribe button, and that would help us out just as well.
Yeah. I like this
Now,
Wonder Woman shirt.
I do like that Wonder Woman shirt. And I also like this Superman shirt.
Yes,
Yes,
that.
Look at this.
Oh, look-
Hey, and look who's here.
Zach Levi, that's
Oh my
Jesse's best buddy.
god!
Yeah, that's just his best
Zach
friend. Look at him.
Levi!
So fit still, huh?
Oh, do we get the captions back or no?
Let me see.
Here we go.
Why
Here
are
we
you-
go. Let's find out what we have
English
announcing
caption.
here.
Oh, that's probably why we're behind.
Oh, we
To
got
get the-
we got Pump. Pump is in here from the wrestling show. What up, Pump? How you doing, brother? He says Killer Moth and Suicide Squad.
Killer
That's
Moth.
his wish.
Ah.
All right, so here. Oh, that's it. So we also have a little bit more news about the Suicide Squad. Now this is also rumored, but I think it's going to get revealed today. Now,
Okay.
Don't you want to hold on to it?
no, I don't, because we're going to do it right now, just like we did at the beginning of the
Spoilers
show.
potentially. Spoilers
So
potentially.
this is definitely potential spoilers, but we are going to talk about this a little bit as we're watching this trailer for the new, I think it's Suicide Squad.
Well, that might be later. That might be this.
So
This might
we're
be
not sure
something
because
different.
this is a second. There's another game announcement coming later.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's the Suicide Squad one.
This
might
is
be-
a game announcement. The next one is the Suicide Squad, Justice League Suicide Squad, whatever.
Kat says that Wonder Woman 84 trailer looks really cool. Now, back to this back to this Suicide Squad
Right.
news. There are reports
Awesome.
that Idris Elba is playing a character named Bloodsport.
Bloodsport, yeah.
Brandon, break me down. Who's Bloodsport?
So Bloodsport is a minor Superman villain. There's been multiple versions of the character, but the one that we would expect.
He's also an assassin like Deadshot, right?
Yeah,
Or
so
like a
he's what.
mercenary.
Yeah, he becomes that role eventually.
All right, so he's not going to focus. So on to the next.
I'm sorry. There's a new Arkham. There's
Okay,
a potential new Arkham game.
he is
Yeah,
a
what
man
is
in a
it?
mental. First, he's in a mental asylum, or he's like
What
in a
else?
psychiatric
All right.
institute. He became obsessed with the Vietnam War after his brother went in his place, and then became a quadruple paraplegic or amputee. Quadruple amputee. That's what it was.
Now,
So
the other rumor and speculation, which we're hoping to get revealed today, is that Peter Capaldi is playing the Thinker
yes, in Suicide Squad. Yeah.
in Suicide Squad. So you got who is the Thinker?
The Thinker was on The Flash season 4. Peter Capaldi is another excellent choice to play him. And he is a big-brained genius man who thinks that he can control how everyone
We'll talk about this in a second. Relax. We got to.
This is so good.
This is
so
this is
good.
kind of a big move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is really big right now.
That's kind of big.
Let's all watch it. This is great streaming material.
Hey, no, it's good because people are all watching. We can talk. We can comment on what we're seeing.
I mean, this is building off of Arkham Knight.
Yeah, well, this is coming from
Yeah.
right after what happens in Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now what we're dealing with is the Bat family, and it's not
Right.
death in the family; it's a different way of doing it,
Mhm.
and it's supposed to have to deal with the Court of Owls. Now, there's been a whole thing about mysterious codes that have been released through Montreal, WB Montreal, the
Yeah.
interactive gaming system that they've been doing. Because remember, now they're
Oh
kind of
my
taking
gosh.
this instead of Rocksteady.
Yeah.
So this is a big move for them right now.
Yeah.
And for them to choose to make sure
All right,
that
breaking news, guys. So it looks like I'm dead serious. It looks like the Snyder Cut trailer leaked, and a lot of fans are not reacting positively.
Really?
Oh,
Wait.
Right now,
Fans or people who actually were anticipating the Snyder Cut?
it doesn't. I mean, is there really a difference?
Yes. I mean, I'm gonna get shit for saying this, but
Oh, man, not on this stream. Talk
Wait.
that on personal.
no. All I'm saying is that there are a lot of people that are really looking forward to the Snyder Cut, and I think they're gonna like it no matter what.
Okay, well that's true.
Well,
That's true.
there's rumors right now that the trailer dropped. I'm sure you can find it online, but it's not.
It's not getting the
positive
best
reaction.
reception.
At least from what we're reporting. But you know what? We'll see later today. We'll see what everybody. Oh, here we go. I actually got a link to this.
Hey, you're gonna watch it right now?
I am gonna watch it.
It's
right
like,
now.
yeah.
This
What's
looks
that?
so good. That looks so
Okay,
good.
so while he's
Hell yeah.
watching the trailer, let's talk about this.
Okay.
So there was a lot of rumors that this is what the game was that was going to be announced this morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Court of Owls.
Oh,
Here it is.
here's what happened. It did leak, and here, look. Video content no longer available, claimed by Warner Entertainment.
So they took it
did
down.
leak
Oh,
for-
wow.
For a
They
little
took
bit.
it down. This looks really good though.
Well, this is the whole thing. Like you said, it's the
Yeah.
Court of Owls.
Yeah.
Which means we're gonna get
Yeah.
all those talons.
Mhm.
Yes.
Well, they've been playing out to it the whole time. They've been releasing little codes and things
Right.
that people have been going
So
through. It's
that
like a
sort
whole,
of guess what.
yeah, it's like a whole AR kind of
That's really cool.
investigation. So they released something last night, and the code was 99. It was a 995.
Was a great trailer.
So you put it
Oh,
That was good.
You were able to see this before everybody else saw it right now.
Yeah.
That was a cool thing. Then they took it down, and now we have it.
So let me
Yeah,
ask you
great
guys this:
record.
Is this because there was rumors that this was a soft reboot to the Arkham series?
It's not
Yeah.
a soft
It's not a
reboot.
soft reboot.
It's a
Continuation.
it's a
It's a continuation.
because the last game ended with Bruce Wayne's identity gets exposed to the world,
And he goes
and he fakes his death by exploding Wayne Manor.
and the Batcave.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
he sends out this message to the rest of the Bat family, letting them know that now this has happened and everything's over. And then at the end of the film, the game, I'm sorry, there's
like a
some,
film.
yeah,
There's
there's
a-
villains in Crime Alley. They look up, and here goes
There's a
figure.
weird looking
Yeah, a
Batman.
weird looking Batman, but it looks like the people were injected with the fear toxin.
Yeah.
And then after
There's been a
that,
lot of fan theories about
so it's
it.
been a whole thing of so now Batman has gone back to being the myth, you know?
Right.
And so now the myth is going to be continued with the entire Bat
That's
family.
so awesome.
So
That
I'm
is
still
really
wondering
cool.
if we are going to see him.
Gameplay footage.
And this
Pre-alpha.
what's really exciting is that the previous games did allow you to play very briefly as Nightwing and Robin.
This full game now is you can play completely co-op.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's really
Completely
cool.
co-op Batman.
How many
Couch co-op or
characters
remote?
Well, you saw. I can play it once.
Yeah.
I wonder. That's what I don't know yet.
It could be up to 4, which would be amazing. Because it seems like there are 4 main characters
So
that
would
could be
this
able
be
to play.
more along the lines of like a Batman style RPG, or is it more along the lines of like a side scroller? Like,
Think of it.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
Games, guys.
I think of something like Gauntlet, to be honest.
I mean,
as well.
this looks.
Where it's like the 4 characters all working together to try and solve this nonsense.
Well, I
Be
mean,
careful of speaking over each other, by the way. Too.
I would say think of it like, once again, what we've already played before, but now it's going to be on a larger scope if we're able to play with more than 2 people for co-op. But the great thing is with the co-op, it will be online, full-on immersive co-op where I'll be able to contact Jezzer, I will, and we'll be able to play. So, I'll be able to be Red Robin or Nightwing, and Jezzer, of course, can, be whoever he wants. And be able to play the game.
Dibs on Tim.
So
Yeah, right?
look at these graphics.
Yeah.
This is pre-alpha graphics.
Yeah. That's
Look,
already.
see how someone
No,
joined in.
bro.
This is
does look
amazing.
really good.
Yeah.
And this
looks really good, and it looks like something I'm not gonna play, but it's just.
Joe, you just made it, so
You
we
could
need to do a
watch-
show
you could
where you
watch
do these
someone
games
else
with
play
us.
it.
In
Yeah.
fact, that's
Oh my god, we
I have
can
zero
give
time
a
for
show where
any
you
of
play
this.
it and then Joe comments.
Yeah.
He's like
Let's-
color commentary.
We do the Let's Play.
Yeah.
And it will be one segment at least where we get to make Joe play.
It's called Get Back to Work, everybody. I have a lot to do. So let's talk about this.
Oh my god, she's got nunchucks!
That's awesome.
Nice.
Where has Bakio's nunchucks been?
No, I'm saying, look at
No,
this.
but that's a common
Now,
thing.
Ooh,
the
the
great thing about
bat
it is right
climber.
now. The great thing about it is right now. Look at the animation as far as the movement for the fight
Mhm.
and everything that they have going on fully for her.
Mhm.
Now we had the tape was already based and created in Rocksteady, and then make it even better when
Right.
it came to Warner Brothers Montreal, because they couldn't stick with what the character designs and everything else that they already had.
Right.
They have to go in that same world at the same
Yeah.
time, and it's just I love to see what they've done with it. Her fluidity as far as how she moves,
Mhm.
it's not what people thought as far as it's going to be similar to Catwoman. It's
Right.
different.
It's very
It looks-
different.
It
It's
looks
different.
like she has a very individual kind of stylized fighting system,
Yeah.
and that's what's cool.
Man, look at the lightning and the wind.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Pump says it was fine in theory, but the last few parts of the game threw up. Sign. Jezzer says this game looks 6, and he says he wants the game.
I
I
too
wanna-
want the game, Jezzer.
Did Daniel? I can't remember. Did Montreal do the Origins game?
Yes, they did.
That's what I thought, because this isn't the first time they've done this
That's
series.
Jezzer asks, is it Tim or Damien?
It's
Tim's the one who was established in the previous games. He's the
It's
current
Tim.
Robin within this universe.
Yeah, see, it's
Well, then
Elizabeth-
we saw a Red Hood too, didn't we?
Yes, you
Yeah,
did.
but
Yeah.
because he's Arkham. Spoilers for a game that came out years ago. He's the Arkham Knight, and then the end of the game, it's kind of like some of the DLC that came out for it afterwards was, hey, you can play as Red Hood now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I-
Platform?
PS4, Xbox
Yeah.
One.
Can you play on
Well,
PC?
this will probably be PS5 and Xbox
Yeah.
Series X
Is that
Yeah.
Red Robin?
and PC.
Yes, we have Red Robin, we have Red Hood, we have
Nightwing.
Nightwing,
Nightwing.
and Batgirl.
Batgirl.
Yeah, that seems to be the fool you can work with right now.
Yeah, but we'll wait for DLCs, and most likely we will get Batwoman in the DLC.
Probably get Catwoman. Probably get Catwoman.
Something that we haven't seen that I think would be kind of cool, and I don't know if they're doing
I'm
it
sure
yet,
it will be co-op.
is that if it was co-op, saying like there's different scenes, like you go in one room and the other room, you only play as like you have like if you're Robin going into the other room,
Mhm.
you play as Batgirl first, you watch the other player play, and then it cuts to the stuff that you have to do in the other room. It's like cuts for like a movie, you know what I mean?
I would think that would be dope. But the thing is, as a player, you're playing the game, you don't want to have to be there idle.
Watching,
And
yeah.
watch-
No,
exactly.
but you know what would be cool? It'd be cool doing that in post, and like
Yeah,
making a movie
yeah,
at like
yeah.
making
the whole
episodic
thing.
out of your gameplay.
That would be good, but I mean, that's where people are going to enjoy doing their whole walkthroughs.
Yeah.
So they can post them online.
Now they says Pump from our wrestling show says they can't do a PC port after the last one.
Yeah, the PC.
That's a
the
big
PC port for Arkham Knight did not go
It was
great.
really bad. It was really bad.
Real
But the
loggy,
thing
real
is,
fall apart.
I think they can figure it out, especially now if they're really working as close with Xbox and Microsoft as they are. I think they will figure something out.
Was it just a bad?
Oh, it was a
like-
horrible port as far as when it came through. There were moments where there were horrible glitches as far as stops, skips, and things like that. Also, the gameplay itself, as far as like, hey, this is how it is on the controller.
Right,
Let's
right.
go ahead and make sure that we can get it straight for a keyboard. No.
See, I'm
They
not.
wouldn't
I'm
respond to
not a
moments
mouse and
things like
keyboard
that.
guy. Like
You know,
I if
No,
I'm
no,
playing
no.
something on my
Yeah,
PC, I'm
controller.
plugging
I'm
controller
plugging
in.
in the controller, right? Yeah, that's it. So, and they said even when porting it back and using one of the universal controllers
Yeah.
that are kind of set up to look like anything, they weren't working well. So
Oh.
it was like, well, I don't know if that had to deal with, but I mean, we can fix mapping,
Yeah.
If I can fix key mapping, then I mean, you get a good game again.
Yeah.
So maybe, hopefully, they'll be able to figure out where they made the mistakes and get it through. But that's
I hope so,
That's a genius point.
because I do not have a PS.
Well, I don't have
Anything.
any. It's just- I mean, I'm sure this will hit the iPhone soon.
The iPhone.
Yeah.
I don't have any. I don't play video games. I mean, nothing against video games. I just don't play them. But if it's on iPhone, maybe. I mean, if it's better than Uno, then maybe.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna guess this is
Yeah.
Yes.
DC imprint, but Wolf Among Us season 2 when that comes out
Right.
on
Oh.
mobile.
I don't know.
You like
I
the
think
first one, right?
That one's like
I don't. It was okay. I mean, the first one was good, but if it's not better than Uno, if it can't keep me more entertained, I'm sorry.
Why would it not keep you more entertained than
Aaron
Uno?
Uno's
What is
a lot
happening?
fun to say.
Uno's all about
This is
competition.
awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Does
Well,
that-
he was the second game had Mr. Freeze as a boss, and it was one of the best parts of the second
Yeah.
game.
This is a
Because
lot of gameplay.
yeah, it
He had a
is.
whole DLC on him, right?
By the
Yeah,
way,
yeah, there was a
I
DLC
want
with them too.
Let you guys know that all of our shows except wrestling is preempted tomorrow. Wrestling will be live going on at 8 because we are doing a wrap up of DC Fandom tomorrow. It's going to be with a lot of our writers. Tatiana, if you want to be on that.
Oh,
now.
unfortunately, I will be doing an all-game
You will.
D&D session tomorrow.
Well, there you go. But I know that Corbin, Brax, and TC
I'm also
will be
doing
bringing you a wrap up of DC Fandom tomorrow, and then Pump, Nate, and Jay will be back with SummerSlam reactions, news, and results tomorrow as well.
That was
Nice.
a lot of
Oh my
gameplay.
God.
That looks so good.
Yeah,
That was amazing.
that looked really good.
I'm so
I just wanna,
excited.
we should just cancel the rest of DC Fandom and go play this game.
Doesn't the girl in the middle
That's
kind of
what
look
we
like Gamora without her being green?
Interesting.
I think.
Maybe we gotta go back to
Wait, can't you?
She's got the hair.
Like the
Yeah,
hair
the
doesn't
hair.
look
Yeah.
like a Gamora
Without the
cosplayer
green,
without the
without
green.
the
Yeah.
I don't think they're all in the same place.
Probably not.
Because if you look at Zachary Levi, like he looks a little washed out from the green
Yeah,
screen.
they look like they've been cut out.
I like
Yeah.
the
So,
technical,
yeah, they look
Josh
like
has to pinpoint the
cardboard
technical.
cutouts.
I mean, that's what I do.
Oh my God. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, that looks awesome.
I'm telling you, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, this all looks
Yeah,
so
I
good.
love that Robin costume.
Yeah, right?
Like,
the
the-
hoodie, I love
Well,
it.
and the textures on there
Oh,
too. Like,
yeah.
I would be impressed with this in like an animated movie.
Yeah.
Ooh, from Kenya.
What was your fate, Daniel? Because you apparently also geeked the hell out over those the older Arkham games.
I've been researching everything DC for like a week since I knew we were going to do this.
What was
Flash Glass asked, you ask Hope to not bother you guys. Will there be a Ranger wrap up this weekend? There will not be. There won't be a retro one either.
No.
We will be back with Ranger stuff next week, but this week is all about DC and SummerSlam.
This is fanboy. This is great for me. I'm trying to get to talk about it and not being ridiculed. That's so fun.
More Power Ranger.
I mean,
content.
we can still ridicule.
Stop
you.
it.
I really tuned into a professional stream and we're talking about ridiculing you. Jesus. What do we-
It's what we
I know,
do.
you're like, yeah.
Do you have any personal
Well, we do have
favorite
a great
boss
website.
fights? Do you have any personal boss any personal favorite stuff from those the previous
Dude,
Arkham games?
honestly, a lot of people will shit on me for it, but the Deathstroke boss fight was great. I loved that instead of you having to focus on doing everything that Batman did, which was always sneak and then attack, stealth, attack, you had to be able to be ready to receive the attack. And it was always about blocking, always about stopping, rolling, blocking, timing. I was like, that was dope because after you did it with Deathstroke, you had to be able to plan to do it with other villains at different moments. And I was like, oh, well, this is cool. It's teaching you something during the game that will be useful. carrying on.
2021, it looks like we'll be getting it. 2021.
See, I've got a soft spot for the, you say Deathstroke. I love the Deadshot one from Arkham City. Where it's Deadshot's just trying to snipe you.
Just trying to snipe you, and you're running over the one, barrel thing over the
and it's one of the only times in the game you ever feel like genuinely in danger, because one shot will get you.
Josh,
Yes.
is this a game that we would have seen at E3? Like a preview?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. They would have pushed this hard. CDR I would have probably gotten the chance to talk to them or something like this. I would have been geeking the hell out.
I mean, because this is great.
That looks really good.
Get this game, like at the time we did it, and for them to continue on with the mythos that they created.
Right. Well, I mean, you have to figure everything that we're seeing here is things that we would have seen at either Comic-Con or at E3. The whole reason this is happening is because there was no Comic-Con.
And they just hold enough big stuff to justify doing it. Right. And look who we've got. It's Sandman time.
This is big because we already have the audio.
Well, this is Sandman from the comics, though. More
yeah.
Oh, like we have the audio book that's already been put out.
Yep.
That Neil Gaiman has been ranting and raving and tweeting about.
Oh, it's Yvette Nicole Brown.
Friend of the show.
Now this is the Into the DC Fandome panel.
Yeah.
No, well, this is the Sandman panel.
Yeah, because I've been doing the new comics.
The Sandman universe, Enter the Dreaming.
Yeah,
This one, the official description is Neil Gaiman, Dirk Maggs, G. Willow Wilson, and Michael Sheen discuss the legacy of the Sandman comic book series and how it has been expanded with new stories, adapted into new mediums, and enthralled audiences around the world.
So they're going to be talking about the... Ah, there he is.
There he is. I was going to say, we're going to say...
Hey, look, it's British Fonzie.
So let me ask you guys a question about Sandman. I know we have the Netflix series. It's highly anticipated. It's going to be coming soon. I know DC or Vertigo has been trying to get Sandman, and Neil Gaiman has been trying to get Sandman off the ground for quite a while. Is it something we'll see soon, or are you guys excited? Do you think it still has the hype that it did like in the 90s, or are you guys excited?
I think if you... Sandman is one of those comics from the 90s that really did hold... It follows in the wake of stuff like Watchmen. It's the comics aren't just for kids, period.
Yes.
So I think there is they'll be able to make legitimate, come out and go, it's one of the most important comic series of all time. It's finally coming to big the screens.
As long as they have it like Watchmen, I mean, right? Like Watchmen was only one miniseries.
Oh, this is going to go forever.
So...
Well, but for me, the thing is, what I'm looking forward to concerning, what's going on with Sandman, the resurgence of Sandman, is that I'm hoping that now, this time, we'll be able to connect him to that rest of the slightly connected Vertigo universe that was in everything else as well. Because that would be Sandman, that would be Constantine, one of my favorites.
If you could connect Sandman and Constantine, that'd be amazing.
They've done it before. I think it
No, but I mean, like in this new series.
Yeah, like in everything that
So you think they're going to have a Netflix crossover with a CW show?
Well, the thing is,
Multiverse!
Not
Multiverse!
in CW anymore. They don't know what they're doing with Constantine. I remember I heard last time they were talking about possibly doing something.
Well, he's still on Legends.
He's on Legends, but he's supposed to be exiting out from the show.
What?
Really?
I refuse to accept this.
So I heard.
Because he was only supposed to be a guest on that first season, and then they upgraded him. Like Matt Ryan is Constantine now. So what else is he gonna do?
Remember they're talking about that whole film that they're supposed to be doing, and Matt Ryan is once again doing his whole thing of hey, vote for me for Constantine, that whole thing, and he's also using the dude from Lucifer to do it with him. And say that whole thing. So I would love to see a whole connection of I want Matt Ryan, I want my Lucifer, I want my Sandman, I want these three, and then last but not least, you better add in my Swamp Thing. Bring them all together. Put them into this universe that I need to see. I know we're talking about Dark DC or Dark JLA or whatever that is, but the thing is, what I want is at least these four in something together, because there's a story that's been built about these four before already. I mean, the whole thing about Swamp Thing and why he even hates Constantine is due to Constantine pretty much sending Swamp Thing's lover's soul to hell for a bartering system that he had to use and all these other things. I want to see all of this happen.
I have a question. So then, what would they do with the Justice League Dark show that they're doing then?
I don't know, because that's supposed to be a HBO Max thing.
It is.
Right.
That's what they said.
And not only
That's
is
why
it,
Matt Ryan is supposed
but
to
not
be
only is it an HBO Max thing, it's a J.J.
Abrams
thing.
thing. So,
Oh my god, really?
is he going to use Matt Ryan?
Nobody knows.
Is he going to do where other people were writing about saying, hey, Keanu still wants to do it? Is he going to go ahead and put Keanu in it? Like, these are the things I want to know, and I knew they weren't going to address it. But
She is amazing.
because
She's
it's
so good.
Yeah.
She's such a good writer.
But
Yeah.
it's something that people would love to
Miss
know.
Marvel.
He's been doing something with
And
DC.
with
I'm
JJ,
spacing on what she's just
Yes.
like threats up in a from DC. Because I think he's on one.
We gotta have
It's
one
one
conversation,
more.
guys.
Yeah.
One conversation at a time. This is a stream. I know that we can forget that at times.
We get excited. We get excited.
So this is all about G. Willow Wilson right now. She's talking about G. Willow Wilson is best known for Miss Marvel, right? That's
Mhm.
right.
And now I think she's writing Wonder Woman.
Okay. Are we talking? Is she? Oh, she's talking about.
She's talking about death.
Yeah.
Donnie Pearson says, "Good morning, everyone," or good afternoon if you're on the Eastern time zone, or good evening if you're on the other side of the pond. So welcome to our DC Fandome fandom streaming.
Yes, welcome.
It's our own
Welcome.
kind of panel. Fan experience.
Exactly.
Yeah. Welcome to us watching DC Fandom.
So we know that these characters are going to be updated for a new era in 2020. What's going to be the biggest change in the Sandman when we see it on Netflix, Brandon?
Are we talking about what we kind of know about already, or are we talking about what I think will be the biggest changes?
I think what we know already and what you think is going to be.
So what we know so far is, from what we've seen through the Illuminerdi, is that they're going to be expanding the time where Morpheus is first trapped. It's going to be an expansion of the very first few issues of the series. They're going to basically be expanded to a longer stretch of the first season. So we'll get, and I know one of the characters is going to be dealing with his sexuality, which is going to be that was not, to the best of my memory, was not an aspect of his original version, but it's a good modern update for the character, especially in conjunction with Morpheus, who will probably be played by a very handsome and very British-looking actor. So that's fun. I think overall the biggest change is gonna be with the other members of the Endless. Like Delirium is going to be.
Yes!
Delirium is great. Delirium's gonna need to be different. Like that, I think that's gonna be the big shift that we're gonna see for the modern take on it.
Josh, I have a question
Yes.
for you. There's a few people in the chat, Shane Jezer, they're not super excited about the Sandman. Now, with that being said, there are a lot of other things that maybe could have made an announcement that they are excited about. For example, and not DC related, but had you not known the property from watching it streamed, maybe there's not enough excitement. Those are Umbrella Academy and The Boys. So, without this, do you think that do you think that the Sandman can, obviously it's going to be a lot different.
Right.
Do you think that a lot of people can see it on that same caliber once it eventually does come out?
Yeah.
Maybe. I guess it depends on the quality of the show itself. Like it seems like it's going to be a pretty good show, but look at Preacher, because Sandman is coming from the same company that does Preacher, right? When Preacher when Preacher came out, a lot of people were talking about it, and then it just kind of went away. And how many seasons was it on?
4.
And I haven't heard about it since season 1.
Right. Same.
So-
I mean, this can also have this, because look, something else that came out that seems kind of in the same vein is that Lovecraft show on HBO. So
Yeah.
this could definitely be in the same vein of that, and it's making a lot of noise.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I mean, The Watchmen was really good. So there's definitely a lot of potential here for it to be a really, really good show. But it's kind of like, I think it's 50-50 odds at this point.
Right.
Like, either people are going to watch it and they're going to love it, or they're going to not care about it.
Yeah, exactly.
My opinion right now is, just like Brandon said, we're in that kind of thing where everyone's looking or vying for that content that wasn't just for kids. That was like, hey, these are graphic novels. These aren't comic books. That's why we had Preacher, and it had some level of success.
It's how we get
had-
folks to go.
And
Up.
Yeah,
Umbrella
that's
Academy, yeah.
Umbrella Academy, Legion, The Boys, all these things, Watchmen, having a series after a film, like all these things that we're getting right now is because people are like, you know what, I want fanciful content. I want something that's amazing, that isn't based in all complete, boring...
Historic materials.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
I want something that's not based in either a political world or ridiculous full of action. I want a lot of stuff added on to it, and that's what we're getting.
And at this point,
So-
it's really more of a jumping off point for writers or creators of
Yes.
the series, because the fandom that's coming into it is not going to be primarily the fandom that originally was devoted to the source
I
material.
agree.
No.
I agree.
A
So
lot-
the thing is, you're getting a lot more people.
A lot of chatter in the chat right now is directed towards the Green Lantern, so we're going to shift gears and talk about that for a second.
Okay.
First question, and we're going to go down the line here. Josh, which Green Lantern Corps ring best represents you?
Oh man, I don't think green. I don't think blue. I wouldn't be a Star Sapphire.
I would say Josh is an Orange Lantern.
The
Yeah,
avarice.
either orange or red.
You laugh.
Nah.
What about you?
Black.
No.
Death?
No, you're dead. You're not dead, man.
No.
So I would say Orange
on the
for Josh.
inside.
What about you, Brandon?
Blue.
Blue.
You would be
That's
blue.
not-
I have a literal blue lantern ring.
Oh, wait, I was gonna say blue
I would
for
be-
her.
I would say red for you, but
Yeah.
How about
Yeah.
indigo for compassion?
okay, I'm down with that. How about you?
Green. I'm Will. I mean, what I want is what I can push for.
I
what
need
can
some
hopefully
will.
get. That's what I
So-
feel.
Oh yeah,
I like the opposite.
Josh.
Yeah, how dare
They
you
said-
not
they
take
said
Jessica?
Josh
You'd be
Indigo.
yellow.
Yellow?
And you're also getting indigo. What did you say for you?
For me, I just agree because it's like, my will.
I would
I'll
take
push it
yellow.
on people to get what I want. I couldn't say fear because I don't strike fear in anyone.
No.
But I convince someone into getting something that I want, which is my will being forced upon me.
Oh wow. Okay.
That sounds a little.
That's
Yeah,
a
that's
little,
a little
but
unfortunate.
it's very interesting. But it's a twist on the
Said
green.
that.
But it's a different. It's a twist on the Green Lantern ability.
Yes. So you are
I
like
can still be an evil Green Lantern, and that's a dope. Nobody ever thinks about that.
There's a
Nobody ever
problem.
thinks about that.
What's the white? Like I know white was a thing for a short
Life.
period of time.
Life. It's
life.
life.
Like, it's the opposite.
Well, also it was what's his name bringing all of them together.
Well, that
Well,
was how.
it was how they defeated Necron and all.
I think I would be a
Yeah, that's
yellow lantern.
You think you would be yellow?
Oh yeah.
Fear?
Is that fear?
Yeah, you'd be all. I don't know if it'd be fear.
I think it'd be green.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see you
definitely
being green.
have will. Yes.
So I have a question here. It's so funny. Jezra is in the chat. Jezra, obviously, you know from our Ranger shows. He says that he just finished Lucifer season 5, yet he has no interest in the Sandman. Talk about a show I have no interest in, and that is Lucifer.
Right.
So-
Yeah,
Someone
yeah.
actually
No, I agree.
asked-
I love that show.
Someone asked if Lucifer could connect with Sandman, and I don't think, based on what I can imagine they're going to do with Sandman, Lucifer's on a whole other
Yeah, there's got to be
Yeah.
a different
They went so far left.
because
From the
Lucifer.
show,
Yeah,
differently
exactly.
compared to what was in the comic.
Exactly.
Sandman will probably have its own unique version of Lucifer because
Exactly.
Lucifer is an important enough character to Sandman.
Yeah, so I'm sure there will be a Lucifer in Sandman. It'll just
It'll be different.
Wait,
unrecognizable.
so back to the Green Lantern. I want to ask you guys. We know that there's a Green Lantern series coming out.
Green Lantern
Let's be on that.
Corps.
Do you think we see anything about it here today?
I think we get an announcement.
Yeah, probably an announcement.
I
don't know.
I think we maybe get an
I
announcement.
think after the Snyder Cut trailer, they will talk about the Green Lantern.
Okay.
Is J.J. Abrams' company doing the Green Lantern show too?
Greg Berlanti.
Greg Berlanti, yeah.
Do you guys have any like preferences on who you want to see?
Whoa. We gotta, because there's gonna be a cinematic Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's gonna be a TV.
I'm talking TV.
Let's stick there first. Is there a lantern we want to see, like
Who do you want as like
Jessica
the
Cruz.
center of
Well,
the
no,
center
not
of the
the
show?
center, not the
John?
center. John.
I want
John.
John, but I specifically want John partnered with Guy.
I just want
Oh.
John.
I want to see John and Guy.
What?
I want to see Lethal Weapon.
Yeah,
Start with
I
Green
was like,
Lantern.
you're looking for
That's
I just want to see John. I
I want to see those two yelling at each other.
Well,
and Guy getting beat up all the time.
The original premise for the Green Lantern movie was like a reverse lethal weapon, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Michael Sheen,
Wait,
what is
hold
going on?
But so,
Oh, he's Lucifer in the audiobook.
Who do I
Sandman.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah.
hold on.
No, but I meant,
I want to
but it's
know,
better with his hair.
like, you want a John Stewart Green Lantern,
Yes.
I want John Stewart as well.
and you want John Stewart as well. What
But I
about
want
you?
to see Jessica and Simon.
Truth be told, if we're going TV, the person that should have been playing John
Yeah.
Stewart Green Lantern is the dude that's playing Jimmy Olsen in Smallville or in
Supergirl.
Well, he is
Yeah.
done Supergirl.
Is he-
so
he's-
Yeah, he's on.
there you go.
Yeah, he's all on the
If
show.
not, I like the dude from American Gods.
You know?
Oh, yeah!
Although, you know who
That
else
was
would be
my
good?
Green Lantern.
What's Carrie Payton? Ezekiel
Carrie
from
Payne would be good.
I think he has the look and he has the voice for
He's got that baritone.
Yeah.
So, and what I want, it's funny.
I mean, how's that gonna go with the schedule of Walking Dead?
Right.
See, I did like that you brought up the American Gods guy for John, because I always want Mad Sweeney to be the guy who plays Sweeney in that to be Guy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, I really think he should be. He's physically imposing. He's a big dude, and I think he's
Ricky Whittle.
Ricky Whittle. I love Ricky Whittle.
I like Ricky Whittle. Yeah.
Now, if we're talking cinematic, now, do you think we see the Green Lantern in Snyder Cut?
Yes.
I believe we already confirmed that he's in it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. We're gonna wait to see.
Who do you think's playing the Green Lantern?
See, here's the thing.
I can tell you.
Oh,
Is it going to be is it going to just be the Green Lantern as a concept, so it's just a random corps member? Or is it just going to... Then it's going to be Tom Ari or something silly like that.
It's going to be some random, I think.
It's going to be Tom Ari. I'm
of the Green
putting it
Lanterns
now.
in the universe.
I mean, we already had the proof where they were fighting in the field.
Right.
That's all we're going to get.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit more where he probably says a few phrases, and then that's about
So wait a minute.
He's going to do the oath.
Time out. Wait a minute. Then that doesn't line up to the leaks that came out with the original Snyder Cut. But this is something completely different than what was.
Yeah, right. So do you think that we're actually going to get to see that storyline come all the way through?
Honestly, here's the thing. I don't understand.
Because I want that.
Hold on. Wait. Whoa. I don't understand why there's a Snyder Cut if it's not the Snyder Cut that said to me, it's like something completely different.
But once again, this is only fair speculation. I'm not in the process. I don't know exactly what's happening. But I feel that that's what's going to happen. I don't feel like they're going to be like, all right, because if they literally put their thumb down and say, yeah, we did cast a Green Lantern, and et cetera, people will be like, well, now we feel like we've been stolen from by not seeing a Green Lantern.
Hey, I'm really excited to see what happens with this Justice League trailer because it got pulled really fast.
Right?
I don't even know how it leaked.
Which is either an indicator of it's great and we want everybody to watch it on ours, or oh no.
It's not what the reactions were.
Right.
The reactions were, oh no.
It's also possible that it could have been just a teaser. People maybe have been expecting more.
Right.
We don't know because we didn't see it. It got pulled immediately. I found out. I tried to watch it. It was gone.
At the speed of internet.
Yeah. I think that, I know Josh has already said that people are going to be happy with the Snyder Cut no matter what. But I'm also concerned that if it's just mostly cosmetic changes, people are going to be.
It's going to be upset.
No, it won't be. So they're removing all the Joss Whedon footage. Nothing that Joss Whedon shot is going to be in the film. And if what the information that's out there is accurate, that's 60 to 70% of what we saw of the movie.
They're doing reshoots specifically?
No. Just Zack Snyder had finished almost everything that he had. A couple of pickups that he wanted to shoot, but that was about it. He was basically done with principal photography.
He had a couple of pickups he had to do. He's getting $30 million to finish the movie. Almost already done.
That's my problem.
Yeah, I don't know.
See, that's the thing.
Because we know that actors. We know that actors are coming back for ADR.
Yes.
We don't know if they're actually shooting anything additional.
Oh, okay.
But with $30 million, I feel like that has to be for shooting stuff too, because there's no way that they're gonna need $30 million just to finish some VFX and some ADR.
And just going all the way back, if he was that far done and only needed some pickups, why did they even change as much as they did?
So the story. Whoa. The story goes like this: as it goes, is that the studio saw a cut of it and they hated it.
Okay.
So they did not like the studio didn't like it, and that's why. And this is all. From reports and it's tons of
and it was coupled with that timing of that unfortunate sadness of Zack Snyder's family tragedy.
But it was also there was also that, but it was the studio just didn't like the cut, so they said, "Hey, redo this," and then it kind of fell apart after that.
Okay.
But the problem I have is so you're getting $30 million to do just additional voiceovers. But wait a minute, the movie was almost done. Why is it 6 hours?
Exactly.
So. Yeah. I'm thinking part of that $30 million might also be going to pay him back for the work that he's been doing on the film over the years since it came out.
Nobody asked him to do that though.
No one did, but that doesn't mean that Warner Brothers isn't going to be hey, you've already done this, so here's some money.
From what I've heard, he said he's not taking a dime from it. It's all going into the project. So
we'll see.
And that I was already That has to be complete BS.
But
why would someone ever want to just do completely additional free work? $30 million worth of additional free work.
but see, that's the thing. He's
not taking
just because he's not taking a salary doesn't mean that he's not being compensated or reimbursed for the money that he's already put out.
And true. Also,
If I
though,
can't have.
my thing is, this is the thing. We are dealing with a
Matt
studio
Ryan, I'll take it.
that also insisted on putting Doomsday in Batman vs. Superman.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have to have Doomsday in it. The studio said we need him in this film.
Yeah, originally that was going to be Metallic.
Yeah,
So
I believe that's
with
right.
that being the case, Lord knows why we had to cut away
Right.
so much of that film.
Yeah.
Because the studio saw one cut and said, no, we don't like this. And then he left and they were like, great, now we have a chance to do anything we want.
Well, let's talk about a bigger controversy. Something that came out earlier this week is that now it seems like the Justice League Joss Whedon cut is under investigation for mistreatment.
Yep.
A lot of the cast and crew on that.
Yep.
Ray
So,
Fisher.
yeah, I mean, Ray Fisher made that happen. I want to kind of dive into this because it's something we're probably not going to see at DC Fandome.
Right.
But it's something that we can definitely talk about here. So, Ray Fisher's been very public about his disdain for Joss Whedon and how he was treated on set. And it looks like now they're launching an investigation on how this happened. Now, I don't want to get into the weeds because, look, it's all speculations. We don't know what's happening. But I do want to talk about some of the reports. So, Ray Fisher's come out and said a lot of things about how about what happened. Do you think that, because there's a lot of speculation on what could happen to Ray Fisher after this, and it seems very much that he's behind Zack Snyder all the way, still a part of this project, but doesn't necessarily seem like he wants to do stuff with Warner Brothers. What are your
Because
guys?
of how they handle
Because of how they handle this. What are your guys' takeaway from this?
I guess I think that I'm like impressed that he came out and stood up on his own, really, because he doesn't seem to have had any backing from the rest of the cast, or no one has spoken out about it.
Well, it seems like the cast wasn't speaking out about it, but like when he came out and said it all,
Then
they
were
all kind of like, yeah.
Yes, that is the case, right?
I mean, I don't think all of them have come out and said everything, right?
No.
No, but there's been nobody has come out to like fight against
Exactly. The only people that have fought against it are the people that are being accused.
You know who remarkably has been quiet through a lot of this, even through the Snyder Cut rumors?
Henry Cavill?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He's been quiet. Oh, we got in the super chat, guys. The Blur. He says,
Oh,
"Hey, thank you.
I love
Thank
this.
you
I
so
love
much
this
for
little
that super
animation.
chat."
Aw.
I like the stickers.
Yeah, I
like
love
that
the
we can do
stickers.
We do have stickers available.
Uh-huh.
You guys can super chat us. It is open. Thank you guys so much for supporting the Illuminerdi. We try to bring you the best content we possibly can. And it's always going to be improving here at the Illuminerdi. But thank you guys for spending your Saturday with us and DC Fandom. Now, back to this. We're currently, to catch you guys up if you're joining us for the first time, we were talking about the Snyder Cut and Ray Fisher's accusations on Joss Whedon and his treatment of the actors and crew on that Snyder, sorry, not the Snyder Cut version, but on the Joss Whedon version.
Yeah.
So, Henry Cavill has been pretty quiet about this. He was even quiet when I asked him about this during the Mission Impossible press tour.
Oh.
He did mention, he was like, he hasn't heard anything about the Snyder Cut. He was actually one of the last ones to say that he wanted to even see a Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
But he was also one of the first ones to make the announcement with Zack Snyder.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot at play here because there's a contractual thing that he's going through with Warner Brothers currently. Do you guys think that Henry Cavill's silence is an indicator of him playing ball with Warner Brothers?
Well, correct me. What is Mission Impossible is Paramount, correct?
Mission Impossible Paramount.
It's Henry Cavill at this point is his clout has raised even beyond him being the Superman actor. Because he's not, like, he was everybody's favorite part of the last Mission Impossible. He's the Witcher now.
Let's get a Superman mustache picture on there, Josh.
But you got it on your shirt.
They're floating around, no joke, online.
You're wearing one!
I'm like, what's he talking about?
I don't know if it was necessarily Cavill trying to play ball with Warner Brothers specifically, but I could get the feeling that it's Henry Cavill's not trying to step on anybody's toes.
Sure.
It's less of, it's more just him being diplomatic. And because like you said, as soon as it became Snyder and I can say that I'm coming back, he's there. He's into it. Like, it's an enthusiasm thing, I think, with him. Less than criticism.
I feel, and it's weird to say it, but other people have been saying it too, I feel like, unfortunately, Cavill is a contractual bitch. Where it's like, no, and it's not in a bad way, but it's like they have him pigeonholed. He can't say so much about so many things. When Mission Impossible happened, and here I am, I have to show up to Superman with a mustache. Trust me, I don't want this mustache on while I'm doing this movie. But Paramount is now like, hey, if you take off that mustache, buddy, guess what's happening? So he's like, all right, I have to keep it. They can't just put on a fake one later while I'm on set.
Look, I think there's more made about this mustache than there needs to be, but number one is this. I feel that, this is well known. He wasn't expecting to do a lot of reshoots because he's not, by the way, this was supposed to be 2 parts. Justice League 1, Justice League 2.
Mm-hmm.
He's not in the first movie a ton, so he didn't expect to do any reshoots.
Right.
So they brought on Joss Whedon. He's like, wait a minute, I'm in this movie like way more. And then he had the mustache. Paramount legitimately said, hey, we want you to keep the mustache. Warner Brothers is like, we will pay to digitally remove we will pay for it, or not digitally remove it, but they will pay to digitally put it back on or something in Mission Impossible.
And they, no.
Honestly, it's such a bizarre story. But I don't know why Jason Momoa just didn't hold him down and just shave it off. But at the same time, then that's a whole nother issue, and that's a whole nother Twitter storm.
But still, the thing was, it was like, yo, it's not that hard.
There it
for
is.
us to
Look at that stash, guys.
It's not hard for them to make a mustache that looks like that and put him on Mission Impossible.
But not only that. Christopher McQuarrie has come out and said, I didn't care.
He did say that.
And the Mission Impossible shoot got shut down because Tom Cruise hurt himself, so he could have shaved. So he could have shaved it, and he would have had enough time to grow it back.
Hollywood. Nothing is true anymore.
So that's the whole problem, though. It was like all this stuff was going on, and so we blamed it on contracts. And now with this thing happening with Warner Brothers has to be looking like, or management has to tell them, you've got a contract, just shut up. Trust me. Wait until things clear up, let other people speak, and then you can say something.
Over on Instagram, a Snyder Cut clip is on Instagram right now, and it's the first shot of Darkseid.
Interesting.
So
Called it!
What?
I called it earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Well, like, Darkseid wasn't known he was going to be in the
No,
movie.
but I said if like something
thing.
was going to
That
pop.
was the first thing,
I said if something was going to pop up, it was going to be Darkseid.
But we know that
Thank you
it's
so much,
Ray Porter.
Corbin is in the chat. Hey, wait. I got to give a round of applause to Corbin. He was one of the first ones to break the... Oh, by the way, back to the beginning of the stream we did. It's not our story. It was broken by... I'm going to give you guys credit here. Website. Splash Report. Splash Report was the first ones to report that Starro, by the way, spoiler alert, Starro is going to be the villain in the James Gunn Suicide Squad movie. Thank you so much for that great article.
We can remove the question mark.
Matter of fact, it's over on the Illuminerdi.com right now. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Go check out Corbin's article. He's a great writer at the Illuminerdi, and he will be on live tomorrow with our DC Fandom wrap up, along with one of our editors in chief, Brax Timberlake, and our social media manager, TC from Epic Comic Cast. That is going to be awesome. But back to this Snyder Cut thing. Darkseid was he was supposed to be the villain in part 2 of this. Steppenwolf is what we got.
That Pump that told us that?
Pump was the one that told us that from our wrestling show, yes.
Oh, Pump, did you share that on your Instagram? Can you share it with me? Battlestar Galactica? I want to see it as soon as possible.
Yes.
Please.
Pump, we got to get you on one of these shows.
I know, right?
We got to get Pump. Let's see. So let's talk about this. We got more Sandman stuff.
No, still, like we said.
I feel like this should have ended.
Yeah,
I honestly think they're doing this on purpose to taunt Brandon.
It's all about messing with me.
I won't get into the Neil Gaiman Brandon Zachary rivalry, but we'll talk about
Rivalry?
Well, I mean, there are things you said that we can't even say on air.
So, hold on. Sorry. So,
I like most of Gaiman's stuff.
Well, that's not what you said.
This should be ending within the next minute because the Multiverse 101 panel is scheduled to start at 11:15.
Yeah,
we love Gaiman. He just doesn't love us.
I love Gaiman.
I'm gonna hit the.
I'm a Doctor Who fan.
It looks like we're in kind of the same place.
So how can I not love Gaiman? That's all I'm saying.
I'm just gonna hit live here just to see if we're live. So
we're live. Aren't we live already?
No. Like I was wondering if like maybe we had fallen behind on the stream.
No,
she's closing it out now.
I love Gaiman. I love most of the things he's done.
Okay, so that's nice to set up.
So far, audience, all of you guys watching, I'd like to ask, so far from DC Fandom, have you been liking it? What's the biggest reveal for you so far? You know, we want to know that kind of stuff. Pump just texted me, I believe, so I'm going to show you, Daniel. Oh, he did not. Let's see. That's what he texted me.
He said in the chat they just texted you the link.
Yeah, I just texted the link.
are you, buddy?
Maybe he texted me in the NRG.
Ooh.
Ooh, you just love yourself. Look at the beard.
Yeah, you've already got a drink there, Tatiana. You can quench your thirst.
All right, this one is really for you, Tatiana. We have I want to ask about Batwoman because we've seen a lot of changes come into that show.
Yes, and I have like full of questions. Honestly, let's see what she has to say about it because.
Do we have captions?
Yeah, let me pop this
right,
back
there
on.
we go. Because right now, all we know about Ryan Wilder is that she has, as far as we know, no connection to the rest of the cast.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, they're like, oh, she's a drug runner or something. I'm like, does she need to be a drug runner?
So you watched the first season of Batwoman,
yeah, I did
right?
watch the first one. This first season.
What did you think?
It started off very, very shaky. It was the first couple of episodes, I was like, why did we do this? But as the season progressed,
give us some Batwoman logo on there, Josh.
Yeah,
we got
Ruby
the
Rose
super stash.
got more comfortable in the role, and the show actually developed a really interesting kind of like world building, dynamics of the characters. So it's very unfortunate to me that we have lost Kate Kane, but I do think that the rest of the cast, like, for example, what I would hope is if Ryan Wilder is like a drug runner, quote unquote, getting illegal medical supplies to Mary for her underground hospital, that would be a great way to then introduce her and make her part of the world and then make her Batwoman.
And that would still be a drug runner.
Exactly.
Exactly. Okay.
I would love that. That's what I would want to see.
I can appreciate that, but the thing is, I'm going to say, I feel that people thought that what's her name was phoning it in.
Well, Ruby Rose, she shouldn't have been cast in the first place.
Thank you.
I think they literally just pulled, like, famous lesbians out of a hat.
And then,
they were like, Ruby Rose, let's go. And it was so much was wrong with the situation. Like, not only, like, casting her, and then everyone was mad at her because she wasn't enough of whatever.
Yeah, but that's a lot of pressure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Nobody was
unfair
working
to
with
her.
publicists.
Tiffany Smith, I love Tiffany Smith. She's a good buddy.
She's so nice.
The Flash.
Now we are into the part of the multiverse.
Oh my God.
Continue on with what you were saying, Tati. I mean, I know the reaction.
Yes, I want to see.
We'll get there.
Yeah. So, like, what I was going to say is, so there's a lot of unfair pressure on her. Everyone was mad at her because she's not enough of what they wanted.
Right.
And then very early on, I think even filming the pilot, she was injured.
Yeah.
And it was like she had to have surgery. That's how much she was injured. And then later on, a stunt woman died on set.
Yes.
And I was like, how? Like, obviously, if I was Ruby Rose, I'd be like, I'm out. I gotta go. I don't want to be here anymore. So I totally understand those stories of her like being difficult to work with because of everything that's going on. And furthermore, what was wrong with that one set? That's never happened on DC TV. Like in the 8 years of the Arrowverse, no one has died on set.
Oh,
no one has
wow.
even been seriously injured. So.
Shay came through with something?
Ooh. Oh, is that Justice League?
I think we're watching the Justice League trailer here.
Okay.
Doesn't look bad. I'm not gonna lie. So far,
I don't know what I just saw, but it looks.
All right, so you and I, let's pay attention to that. You guys watch. So really, she's describing what the multiverse
Yeah,
is.
she's got to give us an idea.
Yeah.
And because this is going to, and look, it's Jim
So,
Lee.
yeah, she's got Jim Lee, and then who are those guys over on the left there?
Ooh.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah, thanks. Hey, Jim Lee. I'm curious as to see if this builds on all the changes we've seen in DC editorial recently.
Right. Because so the official description for this panel, it's Walter Hamada, by the way.
And then it's
so it says, get schooled in this engaging refresher course on the creation of the multiverse with DC Chief Creative Officer Jim Lee, Walter Hamada, and Berlanti Productions founder, DC TV mega producer Greg Berlanti.
Well, something I think is fun because they keep bringing up the Flash story. I actually did an article for CBR not too long ago. There's an old Golden Age story where Wonder Woman actually teams up with an alternate reality version of herself.
Interesting.
So Wonder Woman's actually technically the first DC hero.
Right. Well, who's the Earth 2 Wonder Woman? That Power Woman or something?
No, that's the Earth 2 Supergirl. No, I believe in Earth 2 it's Hippolyta. Or it's like the World War II version of Diana.
Or no, I know. I'm thinking of the Crime Syndicate version.
Oh, the Crime Syndicate version is Power Woman.
Yeah.
Oh, Superwoman. Sorry.
Yeah. But it's Wonder Woman.
Yeah. It's even Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Because like the Earth 3 Grant Morrison book they did.
Right. Because
they
was,
got married.
Right. It was Ultraman, Owlman,
Johnny Quick,
Wonder Woman, Johnny Quick, and
Power Ring.
Power Ring. Yeah.
And then there's references to like the other ones that they've gotten.
Yeah.
Which I mean,
He just brought up furries.
Well, no, he brought up Captain Carrot. Captain Carrot and the Zoo Crew. No, they're fantastic. I love when Captain Carrot. He's what if Superman was Bugs Bunny? It's that old Super Bunny bit, but within the DC universe, and he can punch out Superman.
Yo, man, thank you so much. You have no idea what you did.
Yeah, so you guys, you just finished the trailer?
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Thoughts?
It looks good.
I think there's a lot of new footage, but there's some new footage, but a lot of it seems like the same kind of tone.
Right.
Right.
It doesn't look like wildly different. It just looks like
Expanded.
Kiersey Clemens being in it. Kiersey Clemens is in the trailer.
Yes.
I don't know if that's a spoiler, but like she's also in. I saw old test footage with her that they did.
Yeah, I've
it
seen
wasn't
that too.
complete,
Yeah, it
but
wasn't complete. Now
was-
it seems
now it's complete.
complete.
Yeah.
But it's the same scene. It's the
The
same
same
scene.
scene. Same scene.
Yeah.
But I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I mean, there's a low bar for it right now.
That's,
So
and it's not like it's not like Snyder's stuff has ever looked not good.
yeah.
You know?
Well, that's
That's Snyder's greatest
Yeah,
attribute. Of the film.
exactly.
it's what
So it's really the story that's going to be.
I
the
think.
question.
The thing that is so bizarre to me about like the whole thing with the Snyder Cut and the Snyder fandom is I don't not like Zack Snyder. Like I like a lot of his movies, but
We have this conversation.
his movies always look good.
Mhm.
Like his casting has
Right.
always been spot on. He's always gotten really good performances out of his actors. The scripts, but everything that he does on screen is great.
He is a friend of mine once described him as what a cinematographer wishes directors were like, where it's the visual is key, like the visual is
absolutely.
It's visual first beyond anything else.
I agree with that. Yeah, in terms of the scripts, I think that one thing that he does definitely need help in the editing room.
he's the world's greatest
I don't-
cinematographer.
Yeah, he's
But,
really good.
Richard Deegan is really
Well,
The
Yeah.
actual best
world's-
cinematographer.
And wasn't it Freddie Wong?
Roger Deegan.
Yeah,
Oh, hey guys.
No, but he's a great cinematographer, but a really bad director. That's what people
Right.
keep saying.
I don't
about
think he's a
Snyder.
bad director.
I don't think he's a bad
I know,
director
but
either.
That's what people are saying on Snyder.
In
They're
terms of
like,
Snyder?
hey, he's a good
All
director.
right, well, we're getting some multiverse right now in the.
Yeah, so this is Crisis.
Yeah,
Crisis.
this is FX. It's fun for
Yeah.
some Nazi Supergirl.
Yeah,
Oh,
right?
God.
Tatiana, real quick, I gotta ask
Yes.
that I know that you know all about the DC TV shows.
Sure.
Which of the crossovers, in your opinion, was the best?
Unfortunately, I do
Unfortunately?
think the Nazi crossover was the best.
Crisis
But that's not the most recent one.
Not the most recent.
That was so expensive.
I think that this one was like the most like everyone's getting fun. Everyone has something to decide about with
Yes.
Crisis, right?
Mhm.
But in terms of like being a complete story and having character arcs for the villains and for the heroes at once,
Oh.
the
The
Crisis on
Crisis
Earth.
Crisis on Earth
Yeah.
X.
But
Um,
also that one led directly into Crisis on.
We had
The one
Right.
after, yeah, because we had like
There
3 Crisis in a row. First it was Earth X, then it was Elseworld.
Oh,
and
that's
the
right,
one
that's
that
right, that's
set-
right.
Because that was
Yeah,
when we
yeah,
got the monitor being a big thing.
Exactly, and
Right,
that's when
right.
that's when Oliver made
I
the
can
deal
see
that he
your-
was having
Yes, that's right. We
Shining
didn't know.
through, so I'm going to ask you a question now, because I know you've been waiting patiently. What Crisis do you want to see adapted, whether it be on film or TV? Which Crisis event on DC would you like to see adapted?
Final.
Me too.
Mhm.
Final Crisis.
Me too.
Final Crisis, one of the most.
Oh no, I take it back. Identity Crisis.
Oh,
Yeah. I agree.
Identity Crisis.
I mean, they were kind of heading in that direction with the TV show
But
because they introduced Sue
yeah,
in this last season, but now with everything
Some
that's going
things
on,
are gonna be different.
yes,
Hey, honestly, I think that if they did Identity Crisis on HBO Max, it works.
absolutely. Like it could be a Watchmen level type show
Absolutely
if they
can.
did it right.
It absolutely can. Because it really puts the DC universe in a... I know you don't like the storyline, Brandon, but you know what? It's
I don't either.
The concept is good.
Yeah,
I think at its very core, the concept of a genuine murder mystery in the superhero community is a good idea.
Mhm.
I just hate how it's done.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: like if you look at all of the TV shows and movies that take place within the DC universe, they all change things. So there's
Yeah.
no reason that
They
for
can change it,
a
yeah.
cinematic or a TV version of identity crisis that they couldn't fix those things.
Yeah, I would be behind them adapting it with the understanding that there's going to be some change.
I mean, I'm not going to get into the weeds of this, but like, look, on paper, you know what else doesn't work? Watchmen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
but they changed a lot for
that's
that.
my point. But it doesn't work. It does not
for both
really,
the movie and the show.
Yeah.
I mean, it works. It works if I was like 20 years old in 1985.
Yeah.
I personally, I would like to see Final Crisis. I would like to see the
right?
I would like to see the heroes like actually pushed to their absolute limit in a way that I don't think we've seen DC
But you're just talking
properties
about their powers and physicality. So I feel like in Identity Crisis, they're pushed their limits mentally.
Sorry. Master Shake in the chat says that he doesn't see them doing Dr. Light the way it was in the books.
Definitely.
Yeah, we could probably not do Dr. Light the way it is in that book.
I absolutely do if it's HBO Max. I do if it's HBO, like what they did with the Watchmen.
Yeah.
I absolutely do if it's HBO Max. And if you think that you can get a grittier kind of like audience and get people talking, to turn those kind of characters on their heads, I absolutely.
But not only that,
but hold on.
Sorry.
I don't think you can use marquee characters that are so big, like a Superman and a Batman in that story.
That's right.
You'd have to kind of figure that out.
Right.
Well,
You have to change it around.
that's one of the things that I do have a problem with that book is that it has a weird relationship with those marquee characters, like you say. It can't have Superman at the center of the story, but
Right.
it keeps having to have Superman in the story, and it kind of ruins Superman a little bit because he's like they have that bit where it's he hears everything, but he chooses what he listens to.
I mean,
and it's like, oh, screw you.
But that's such a minor thing because Superman doesn't need to be in that movie because he's not or series because he's not a focal point of that story.
That's right.
As long as it's Ray Palmer, what's his wife in War?
Sue
Dearborn?
Sue Dibney.
Sue Dibney and
Sue Dibney.
Jean Loring.
Yeah.
Jean Loring is Ray's wife, and then Sue Dibney was Plastic Man.
Yeah.
Not Plastic Man, sorry.
Elongated
Man.
Ralph Dibney and Sue Dearborn.
They would have to do a light version of Dr. Light, no pun intended. It would have to be a very a little bit of a not necessarily as
although I don't know, like you brought up Watchmen, and I know you haven't seen it yet, but the first episode of Lovecraft Country, they dig into some like really heavy material.
The biggest difference there, though, is that just the way that Marvel or Disney would look at the Marvel brand. If Warner Brothers is doing something different with their content, that's something else. But to put a lot of these marquee characters in something so dark and taking those dark places, it's a little bit more hesitant.
Yeah.
On a marketing standpoint.
It's easier to do that with Doom Patrol than.
Don't forget though. Joker won an Oscar. Joker won a bunch of Oscars last year.
This is the thing. I think DC has this moment right now in this time and space in a fandom or just an understanding of media itself where they should embrace the one thing that has made them strong and make their characters still people to love until this day, which is the multiverse. Mm-hmm. That idea, fuck it. You know what? On TV, it's
like you need to be like a different version.
Yeah,
of
on TV you have different versions of the multiverse. In film, we can have multiple versions in our multiverse.
Hey, there
exactly. We can tell as many stories as we want, and you know what? This is what we're doing. We're just telling stories. Accept it and love it. We are bringing what the idea of a comic book is to real life for the fans who enjoy. They should look at everything in that way. Stop trying to do what Marvel has done. Look, Marvel already did it. Let them do it. Let us do something completely new and different.
Yeah, that's true.
Do that, and I think you would kill.
I love this scene.
This was so good.
Yeah.
But see, Tatiana has a great point. I know a lot of people think, oh, this is the greatest crossover. It had a lot of great moments. But story-wise, I have to agree with Tatiana.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, we do have a couple questions in the chat. Number one, Flash Glass, he asks, what do you guys think about Young Justice being pushed back to September? Brandon, I know you're an animation fan. Go.
Yeah. I'm just glad that we're getting more Young
Right.
Justice. Are you kidding me?
Like, you had to wait like a decade for the last one.
Like Young Justice is, especially the second season of Young Justice, is so good. It's so much and so like complex in a way that you wouldn't expect. I certainly wasn't expecting. So just the fact that we're getting season 4 at all makes me very happy.
We did get another super chat, guys. This one's from the Blur. He writes for our website too, John Gatewood. He says, "Do you think Ruby Rose might make a guest spot?"
After the way they kind of publicly shaded her with her exit, I feel like she wouldn't. But I really hope so because we need a transition.
We need the
We
transition.
need the transition.
We need the passing.
Or we need a reveal.
Yeah,
Or we need a reveal.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess it depends on what she was contractually obligated for.
Right, right.
Because there's been a lot of TV shows where actors have left under, whatever.
circumstances?
Yeah. Where they still had one last episode just to kind of like Shannon Doherty on Charmed, and now we've got Ralph Dibny who's going away on The Flash. So do we know how he's actually exiting, or are they just writing him out completely?
They're just writing him out. Like they took him out of the promotional material. They took him out of the gag reel. They're just like, we don't
He's
know
just
this
not
man.
in the show anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but back to this, you guys, you think that it's possible we can get a
Yeah.
Rose?
As long as, because there was a couple episodes left of Batwoman to film anyway from that season. Obviously, she had to break the contract to get out of the show.
So you think that maybe they just shot a couple scenes and
Yeah,
they're going to
maybe.
throw them in here?
Yeah, maybe.
I can see that.
Another question that Pump has, he says, but Supes has Lois. Who can you swap him with an Identity Crisis? I mean, I don't feel that Superman and Lois played a pivotal role in Identity Crisis. Who you really need, though, you absolutely do need. Here's the unfortunate part. You need Zatanna.
Yes.
You need Batman.
Yes.
Yeah.
You need Tim Drake.
Mm-hmm.
You need the Green Arrow.
You need Ollie.
You need Ollie. And I think you need the Green Lantern. You need the Flash. But I think it'd be cool if you give him Wally.
Because
And
that is one of the things I do like about Identity Crisis is Wally and Kyle have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's played up that by the end of it, Wally is like very angry with the Justice League.
Completely.
I can't believe Barry did this.
So
Yeah,
what if the substitute for Superman Lois would be like was it Wally and Artemis?
Linda? Oh, Artemis, yeah.
Could be Optimus because that's the Young Justice relationship.
Or Green Lantern and
You don't need Superman and Lois, period.
Right.
I mean,
They
if
don't
you
really touch on them. They don't have to be there.
Yeah, that's true.
Their portion, as far as what happens, is integral to everything else.
Yep.
As far as like how we definitely need Ollie, because we need that speech that he gives, where he breaks everything down. And you're like, oh, I didn't think of it that way.
And the only way that you really only need
Tim Drake.
Superman is him kind of peripherally knowing what happened, but
Hate it.
ignoring it.
Yeah.
hate it.
That's all
Hate
you
it.
really need.
Hate
But Bryce also gives us a super chat. Bryce,
Hate that part.
Bryce is one of our writers at the Illuminerdi. Thank you so much, Bryce. One of our editors over there. Thank you so much. I don't think you need. Again, Brandon, I think you idealize Superman so much. You idealize all these characters, and I think it's very hard for you to think outside the box on how they can be.
Well, here's
But
the thing: is if Superman is a dick, then that defeats the purpose of Superman.
Right.
Because he's Superman. The whole idea is that he's God who's figured out that I should be a good guy.
I don't understand why that's the only perception Superman can have, because there's Red Sun Superman, there's Earth 33 Superman. Why is that the only Superman?
I'm not saying that can be the only Superman, but I'm saying if you're focusing on unless Identity Crisis is very much set in its own
Right, if it's
particular
a multiverse,
pocket,
then
if
sure.
it's multiverse,
But our
and
Superman is that.
I'm saying if you're going to say the core Superman, the main Superman is a dude who's okay with that the core main Superman should be the best guy. Just he's not inherently, but because he was raised that way. He's he's the guy that Lex Luthor cannot figure out, because why would God want to help people? Well, because it's nice. I don't think you
I
get.
have a lot to say.
You have a lot to say.
All right, this is kind of informing me on your kind of. I don't know if it is truly slightly on your.
Time out. We got another super chat. I got it. Right here in the news time. I'm so sorry. The board says, you think if they use Final Crisis, they will use actors who portray him in Titans, will they use him for Superboy Prime? Actually, it's a really good question.
If the Final Crisis is like an HBO Max thing, then that would be a great way to combine.
Yeah.
I agree. I like that.
I'd love that. That would be great.
Great article.
And Titans is the perfect universe in which to have a Superman. That would be
It's the perfect place to do Identity Crisis.
Yeah.
You know what? If the Titan Superman did it, I would think it's perfectly in character.
Exactly.
Here's
here we go.
That's
We
you.
got a little bit of
It's Stargirl.
I love the look of this show.
And the show is actually really good.
It's
too.
very good.
Is that Green Lantern?
Yeah, 12.
They have they have a Green Lantern. They have Dr. Fate.
Dr. Fate.
They have a lot.
Well, I mean, this is the Green
So
Lantern.
that's from Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern.
No. This is from
Crisis.
From
Crisis.
Crisis.
Crisis, but I mean, Crisis on Infinite Earths, but this is also preluding to the HBO Max Green Lantern.
Right.
So, Daniel, but while we watch this, you were making a point about Superman.
Love these idiots.
Yeah. So Brennan, it kind of gives us a slight insight to how you, I don't know if you emphatically believe in God and religion and things like that nature, but the thing is, have you ever stopped and thought about and questioned, just all these
Superman
things that
looks
we
so
say, all these things we say about God himself, his or herself, I don't know how people believe, but that whole thing of he's so perfect, he's so great. If he's so perfect, if he's so great, why do these particular things happen in life or in the world itself?
Well,
why can a child be born with AIDS? Why is there Down syndrome? Why is there this? Why is there that? For these people, no, I'm saying, but why are there all these things for these innocents that are supposed to be so great? And if that's something that can happen or slip through God's fingers, why can't things or particular things slip through man, who essentially is Superman, who is a man?
I think that's the thing, though. With Superman, he is if he's so nice and so wonderful, and he's always trying to help people, and yet things still happen that are bad.
Mm.
And then people wonder, Superman, you were so great and wonderful and nice and awesome, and then things are still happening.
What I'm saying is, why are people not even why are things still happening, blah blah, that are almost out of his control, but why do things happen that are in control? Yes,
yeah, but not because of the flaw in his personality, I would say. I feel like the thing that sets Superman apart is because when you have myths about gods, there always are they give them human characteristics so that they are, and they are horrible people.
Yes.
If you read the Greek mythology,
yeah,
or
exactly.
if you read the Old Testament,
they're just like humans.
God.
Yeah.
So what makes Superman different, and what I think Brandon is saying, is that he isn't like that. That he has sort of kind of reached
he was raised by, he wasn't raised with the idea of you're a god, the world is to fix you. It's why I'm not a huge fan of when Jor-El is you were going to save everything on Earth.
Yes.
He was raised by two farmers in Kansas who actually taught him good
He's
morals.
be nice,
He's a nice guy who just so happens to be able to do anything and everything if he tried.
But wait a minute, hold on. I have a question then, because I'll be honest with you, I don't think the Christopher Reeve version, idealized version of Superman works in 2020. And I would go as far to say that if you look at other iterations of Superman, they are actually more popular than the current one that's being put out now. For example, the Injustice Superman is probably more popular than the current Superman. Hey, facts are facts. You can't.
You mean totalitarian Superman?
Totalitarian.
Villain Superman. Villain Superman.
But regardless.
I think it's a story. Wait. Sorry. You know that Superman isn't real, right?
But time out. Wait, oh God. All right. That was a dumb comment. But I don't also think that, look, from the 1960s, if you look at the history of Batman, a lot of people regard the Michael Keaton Batman as being one of the best, right? But that's throughout history, throughout that time point, he was not portrayed that way. It took something to put it on its head for him to be portrayed that way. So I don't understand why. How come you're not so well, this Batman that we have now, it needs to be more like Adam West, the Super Friends, because that was the debate.
But I do think that to a certain extent.
I
am not the biggest fan of I wish Batman was able to smile a little bit when he's in the Batcave. I like Christian Bale's Batman partly because him in the Batcave with Alfred is kind of talking and joking and having fun and being like a human being.
But here's what I don't understand: you don't like Ben Affleck's Batman, but he did that same exact thing.
He does Bruce Wayne really good. I don't like how grim the Batfleck is.
And Christian Bale wasn't.
Christian Bale. Christian Bale is not as grim, I think, as Batfleck. I don't think Bale is as grim as Batfleck.
So he spied on literally everybody in Gotham City, and he's not as grim as Ben Affleck.
Batfleck killed people, Joe.
But so did Christian Bale. I mean, he didn't save. I mean. Yeah, I didn't.
Hey,
did he save Rachel?
Hey, which one of their Batmobiles has just covered in guns?
But let's take.
Which one of them showed up to the final fight of the movie?
Wait.
Oh,
so with a gun. So you don't
Super chat always hold Smallville forever. That's from the Blur. Thank you so much, Blur. But
I love the Smallville version of Superman.
But let me ask you, Brandon. So then, essentially, you're saying you don't like the Dark Knight Returns. That doesn't like that. That's fine.
No, I think Dark Knight Returns works really well as a self-contained version of Batman. In that multiverse idea, like what we were saying earlier, with if you want to put Identity Crisis in Titans, that works for me.
Right.
I think within that same kind of idea, Dark Knight Returns Batman works as its own very self-contained.
I don't want Dark Knight Returns. There's a different origin story for Superman that would do what Identity Crisis.
Yes.
So that would be the difference.
Well, I don't know. I
feel like DCEU Superman would do the Identity Crisis.
Yeah, I don't see that that's a problem, but I don't know. I feel like there's these preconceived notions that like Superman needs to be this, and this.
I think there's a core of the character that I think has to be there for the character to be working at full cylinders.
Mm-hmm.
I think and if you have a Superman who is going to compromise, that's a problem with Superman. Superman is a dude who will do his best never to give up on what he believes is right and just. That's the whole point to Superman.
So is Kingdom Come Superman an inaccurate version of Superman?
No, partly because it gets brought up in the story of Superman. The hell?
Well, why wouldn't they be able to do that in Identity Crisis if they adapted it, though?
Because he's still actively Superman during when that happens.
Okay, so Christopher Reeve Superman.
Yeah.
Do you like him?
Yeah.
Even though he beat up that guy at the bar for absolutely no reason because he erased that from history? He killed Zod, Ursa, and Nan at the end of the movie?
Yeah, not a fan of that. Not a fan of that.
So, I mean, all I'm saying is it's very easy to cherry pick the pieces. And it's fine. You're a fan. Of course you are. But I feel that, we're all fans. But, I feel like for me personally, I don't think that... Look, just like when we were talking about that telephone game, I think that, there's essences of the character that can be played around with. And I still think he'd be an interesting character. Look, I would fair to say that you like television Flash?
Yeah.
Well, that's not Barry Allen.
Well, of course.
That's Wally West.
But
Yeah.
it's not just Wally West.
I mean, it's mainly
a little
Wally
Bart
West.
Allen also. But either way, they gave him the origin story, within the context of the Flash show, it works.
That's my point.
So I think that's also what we're saying, too. If you put a Superman, you had to give him a story that makes sense.
Of course.
So if you were to just grab, for example, Supergirl Superman, and be like, we're going to do an Anti-Crisis now, that would be insane.
That would be infuriating.
You know who else would work as Superman in this Identity Crisis, honestly? Is if they did the spin-off, it would be Brandon Routh. And here's the reason why. If they already tell you that Lois is dead.
Right, that's Superman. He's already gone cuckoo.
Yeah.
And then he can hear the people, but he kind of ignores them.
Yeah.
And then that would work. But there's different ways to play with it. Multiverse.
That's what I'm telling you. That's the answer.
Yeah. I think...
Multiverse is the answer.
Multiverse is the secret key to most of DC's problems, which is consistent with DC's history.
Well, and that's what I said. Just do that for what we do on film and television from now on, and let it be.
Wait, I got a question for the chat, because you guys are interactive. You guys are live. Which iteration of Superman would you... do you even want to see an Identity Crisis? And what Superman is your favorite Superman from what Earth?
Does it have to... Are we just talking live action?
Whoa!
Miller.
That's
Holy God!
Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta be quiet for a moment. I'm sorry.
Aww.
Yeah. Hey.
I love her.
Yeah,
She's
so
great.
She's so
By
nice.
the way, Birds of Prey, I thought was great.
Birds of Prey is I went on the record. Birds of Prey is my favorite DCEU movie.
I heard people that said they didn't.
I enjoyed it.
It is the best.
Yeah, Daniel. Who is it that you heard from that they didn't like it?
Hey, what's going on there?
Me?
Did you like Birds of Prey?
I love Birds of Prey.
Oh,
right?
then
No.
who was it that we know that said
Someone
no
didn't like
for
Birds of Prey?
And I was like, what?
No,
I
I love
thought
Birds
you
of Prey.
didn't like it. I don't know.
That's
I know
good.
there are people that
This
say
is the Flash movie panel. It's about to start. But back to you guys' chat. You guys have chosen some of your favorite Supermans. Blur says Superman from Smallville.
Tom
even
Welling.
though it's mostly Clark Kent. Jared Hodges says, my favorite Superman is the one from Doomsday. Kat says the Arrowverse Superman is her
Oh,
favorite.
yeah!
I do like the Arrowverse Superman.
Yeah.
If we're just talking live action, I'd probably go with the Arrowverse one.
For me, live action, I'm going Brandon Routh.
Like Brandon Routh from Superman Returns or Brandon Routh from
I'm going
Crisis?
Crisis.
Yeah. He was good in Superman Returns. The movie itself.
Right, the movie wasn't good.
Yeah.
But he was good.
If we can talk animated, then I'd love to bring the Justice League Unlimited
Tim Daly?
Superman.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, that would be amazing. That would be the best.
See, he's not the version of Superman that I really like, who has all that power, who wants to be, who is at his core a very, very good guy, but he's still like, I don't know. Like that's my idealized Superman.
I like it.
And I've asked Christina Hodson so many questions about Birds of Prey when it was coming out, spin-offs. I think she's a genius. I love
She's
Bumblebee. I really like Birds of Prey. I think she's a really good writer.
Yeah, I agree.
She's fantastic. I loved getting to. I've interviewed her a few times now, and there's I remember talking to her about Birds of Prey before it came out, and being like, "Are we gonna get Shiva?" and she being like,
I want Manhunter.
"Manhunter would be awesome if she did Kate."
That would be interesting.
Kate Spencer
As a
time.
lawyer, the lawyer thing. I think that'd be really cool.
With Birds of Prey, for me, it was like the whole thing with her and the egg sandwich. Like, I just completely related to that because it's that whole thing where it's like all you want is just this one thing. Like everything has been going wrong, and you just want like whether it's food or you want to sit down and watch like your favorite TV show or listen to your favorite album or whatever it is, and something just keeps getting in the way and stopping you from doing it.
Do you think that, DC Fandome obviously has a lot announced, because they announced a lot.
There it is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We had the announcement that Ben Affleck was coming back as Batman. Do you think we see Ben Affleck on this panel?
I feel that a lot of this.
By the way, do you think we see Ben Affleck at all in DC Fandome?
I don't know if we see Batfleck at all in the fandom, unless it's like
Maybe in the Snyder Cut trailer.
Yeah.
Not in the trailer, but like on one of these.
Live? I don't know.
Because I feel that this is all all shot way ahead, pre-recorded. I don't think so. I'm shocked that I saw Ezra Miller because
I think we see the whole I think we might see the whole Justice League cast reunited for this.
Snyder is the man that can make it happen.
Of course he is. He's the one that made it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, he is the man that can make that happen, and we'll see it just how they saw the Suicide Squad thing, where it's just a big Zoom call.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot a few things."
Lost
and then we
point.
see everyone.
So there's obviously a lot. So,
Oh man, are they gonna do the treadmill?
God, I hope
The
we get the
cosmic
cosmic treadmill.
Man,
do you want a one-to-one adaptation of Flashpoint? It doesn't
No.
seem like
no.
No.
I want a
Absolutely
Flashpoint.
not.
I want a Flashpoint that's adapted to what has already happened in DCEU and to fix it.
So
That's what I want for my Flashpoint.
Super chat. We got another one in the blur. It says honorable mention: Dean Cain, Superman being the Mask, and Clark Kent being
True.
a true person.
True.
Okay.
I do like that. I don't like Dean Cain, but I do like that concept.
That's yeah.
Wasn't that old idea that Batman's the real
Well, yeah,
Bruce
it's
Wayne
the
from Mask?
reverse.
Yeah.
I like the reverse of that.
That's the old Kill Bill.
Yeah. So let me ask you guys a question because you were asking about one-to-one adaptations. Would you ever want a one-to-one adaptation from the comic book to cartoon or animated movie or live action movie?
No.
One-to-one? Oh, probably not. No.
Of
At that point, just
Flashpoint
make
or
it
of
Yeah. That's my thing. Like I would never like
Yeah.
a
You also like
comic
James
book is like a
it's a
definitive
different beast.
different medium than either a cartoon or a movie. You
I-
have to make changes.
The only one I can think of that I thought worked, and it's because it mimicked the style of the story so well, and on top of it was the New Frontier animated movie they did a while ago, which is very good, and is almost like at points a panel to screen
so
translation.
I actually just recently rewatched New Frontier. There's a lot of things that they took directly from the comic book and mimicked a lot of the pages, but it definitely was not a
wait,
one.
It's not a one-to-one. It's
very
missing a lot of
important
little
stuff here.
stuff.
Now, they're saying that this Flashpoint movie is going to open the door to the multiverse, so these universes are going to start to collide. They did a little preview of all the previous Batmans. I honestly, this Flashpoint really does sound like it's just
Constantine.
another title for Crisis on Infinite Earth.
Man, if they get Keanu Reeves to come back as Constantine in the Flash,
You really?
Yeah.
what about
I just think
what about Shia as Chaz?
No.
I still think it's like a strange
you for trying
idea to
shots,
start with
right?
Flashpoint. Not only to start with the lowest point for Barry, like the thing that he did most wrong, but also just that we haven't established, like DCU has been like flip flopping on what their universe
Yeah.
is.
Wait. So you think that what Barry did in Flashpoint was wrong?
Yes!
He saved his mom. How's that
He
wrong?
broke the timeline!
To save his mom.
He got millions of people killed!
Millions to save
Exactly.
one.
Did he know? But did he know that was going to happen?
No,
He didn't know.
no,
but
but he-
either way,
he
he
But it's
still
a
broke
flash
the universe.
fact!
He
Don't
said
change the past!
Exactly.
Yeah, but he also
Wally
said
found
whole
that
thing.
out the
I
hard
should
way.
have sacrificed millions for the one.
Right, exactly.
And when he says the one, he doesn't mean his mother. He means himself. Because that's what it did. He only did that so he could feel better.
Right.
So he could still have his mother. And by doing so, he's forego what it took to be a hero.
Okay, so let me ask you a question then. So he goes back in time, he saves his mom, creates
Wait a minute, are
Flashpoint.
you guys not seeing
Concept
the concept art
Yeah, it looks really good.
for Batman and the Flash?
Yeah.
The first ever Batman movie is actually an unlicensed Batman Dracula movie.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
With a soundtrack by the
It's,
It's unreleased, but
That's pretty
Where is
interesting.
it?
Fun fact here. Here's my
You
thing.
can find it
If
online.
they got Ezra Miller back for this, obviously, I think he's definitely going to be in the Snyder Cut thing.
Yeah. Well, and I think if they're going this far to do this movie is actually happening now.
Yeah, I'll
I
let-
think it's finally
Let's
happening.
hope so. Let's hope so.
There's been so many attempts to make.
We got a few people chiming in on your guys' Flashpoint. Kat says what Barry did in Flashpoint was acceptable to save his mom. The Blur said Ezra Miller's new suit looks like CW's a little more.
It does.
Thank God.
It does look more like the CW one.
Because the suit
the
in
armor's
Justice
done.
League was so stupid.
Yeah, the armor is
I
done.
love this new Batsuit.
The new Batsuit looks
Yeah,
cool.
I will say though, I'm a huge fan of that Batfleck suit. To me, it's one of the best ones on screen.
Yeah.
Now, what I would say to Pat, though, is that it was acceptable for him to do it.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
For him to go back after and try it again would be rough.
So
Come on.
nobody's going to care about this, and we'll talk about it out there, but just going to tell you this. Me and Daniel were casting the Illuminerdi movie. Nicolas Cage is definitely playing you.
Oh, not John Malkovich?
Nope,
No.
Nicolas Cage. All right, so who's playing me?
We'll tell you off air. Nobody's going to care right now.
So far.
But it's Tina Fey.
Yep. Yep.
I'm sorry, we just talked over the Ezra Miller wanting Nick Cage to show up as Superman, the Superman lives so. I have never wanted something so badly.
Yeah, man.
Is to see 2 minutes of Nick Cage Superman.
And you know you will. I have a feeling
I will.
I mean, you got
lose
Nick Cage Superman and Teen Titans Go.
we
The
do.
movies.
Oh, that's right. He plays Superman
Do you
in
think we also see Superman Returns Brandon Routh?
Yes.
Potentially.
That would be amazing.
In Flashpoint?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we'll get that. I think we'll get Linda Carter Wonder Woman. I think we'll get the other Flashes. We'll get Grant Gustin probably at least in some form.
I want that.
Do you think John Wesley Shipp will come back as a different version of the Flash too?
I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if he shines up as
Do you
Flash.
not think that they? I mean, I think the only TV. I mean, I guess you can count Brandon Routh. I think the only TV appearance we get might be Linda Carter and like Grant Gustin.
I definitely see Grant Gustin maybe.
Grant Gustin completely, yes.
Oh, that's right, because we're supposed to be getting a little new Beyond bit.
So here we go. This is a little bit
yeah.
Batman Beyond. I love this universe.
I do too. I love the Beyond
Beyond
stuff.
is an amazing universe. I love it. That's why they had to use it in that epilogue story.
What is happening here?
This is the multiverse, guys.
Multiverse.
Oh my god.
And they brought Kevin Conroy
Yeah,
for
they
this.
really cut this. They really cut something. It's ridiculous.
All right, look, 60s Batman is fantastic.
Oh, it's Josh's favorite.
I mean,
It's wonderful.
just in what it like self-contained in
What it
it
is.
is. Yeah.
Multiverse. It's what we've been saying is that is like
No, unacceptable. That's not an accurate representation of Batman.
this is actually a very accurate representation
I
of
didn't see his
Batman.
parents die.
Batman,
Where's
yeah,
his
we
parents
started
dead?
Batman.
I didn't see the Waynes die. This is
It gets
not-
mentioned. It's you never see. It's your Spider-Man Uncle Ben stuff where you never see it.
I'm literally just mocking you. I really could care less.
I really enjoy that the Cesar Romero Joker has a mustache underneath.
He
the
never
mustache.
tried to start.
Yeah, he refused to shave the
He
mustache.
never cared enough. No,
It's not that he never cared
I
about
don't
it. He cared too much about his mustache.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it's I love the the
I love that
self-contained
Batmobile.
bit.
Chris
Everything
says
about this is
he would like to
hilarious.
see. I'd like to see Flash meet actual Nick Cage in the movie.
Okay, that'd be hilarious.
That'd be fun too.
Because Nick Cage as himself.
Do you think?
Yeah, right?
What are the chances we get they just cross it over and we get a quick cameo of Batman Beyond Batman live action?
I would not be surprised because they've talked in the past about trying to do a live-action Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
And it would not surprise me if
What
they
if that's
see.
the Michael Keaton role? He's like the Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
See that? I've seen that rumor. I've seen that rumor that he's going to be playing old Bruce Wayne,
Right.
and that like the end of the film will include a setup for, hey, if we want to go back to the Burtonverse, there's a new Batman,
Yeah.
and it's Terry. We get some live action Batman Beyond stuff.
I love that.
The Batman Beyond in the Burtonverse?
Yeah, like that'd be the idea. That's the rumor and like the speculation I've been seeing. It's not nothing in stone.
It would be an injustice to Terry McGinnis in being him in the Burtonverse, though.
Well, yeah, there's like no connection.
Yeah,
just the name.
just see him do something for a moment, fine, but not be that. And what is happening?
God,
it's 60 Batman.
This show is-
Are they like, guys? Okay, so
We need to fill time.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they're like, Snyder, can you cut a whole?
I just love Kevin Conroy got brought in to make fun of
What
Adam
if the
West
Snyder
Batman.
Cut is a remastered version of Batman 66 that like darker?
I don't know if there's anything that would make me angrier.
I think this whole thing they just put together because they heard that they got the leak. And they were like, look, Snyder, can you get another trailer?
Well, I mean, Snyder did directed that the Batman 75th anniversary animated short thing,
Which does
really
have
good.
a little bit of a...
He also did. I've never seen it, but now I kind of want to because I didn't realize that this was him. Was it the Guardian? Guardians of like some
Guardians
movie.
of Gahul!
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Which brought in Deakins to help frame it, so it looks...
I've heard that it's actually not bad.
It's boring as hell. It's not bad, it's just boring.
Like
It's just not that...
mystery science. The mystery, or somebody else. Blair says he likes this mystery science.
Science
Mystery Science Theater, yeah.
Mystery Science Theater 3000. It's literally that right now.
Yeah. Oh my god, poor
No, I'm
woman.
telling you, I think they put this together because they're like, Snyder, can you make a new cut of what you were going to release later today? Could you just do that for us? And he's like, no problem.
Batfleck 66.
Right? He's like, oh, don't worry.
You guys
put this
don't
out.
think that Snyder has backup trailers?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm
He
sure.
probably has like 85 trailers.
Who would you want? In the Snyder Batman 66 with Batfleck as Adam West Batman, who do you want as Robin?
What?
Oh, jeez.
If Snyder directed a Batman 66 version
With Batfleck.
with Batfleck as Batman, who would be his Robin?
Matt Damon.
I wouldn't.
I was thinking the same.
Who?
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt
as Robin.
Damon? That's okay, that's
Might
hilarious.
as well.
Oh my
Might as well.
god, that's amazing. It's the only way to do it. Really.
This is a nice little palate cleanser for all the major stuff that you're getting here.
Yeah, because next
Right.
after this is the Suicide Squad, I
I'm
believe.
surprised we're not talking about the Flash more though. Like,
Well, they gave like
Well,
5 minutes. So
well,
and
and
there's
just fast. What do
Okay,
you want?
well, I will say this. I am kind of shocked concerning the whole Flash thing because seeing Ezra Miller, I was still wondering if DC or Warner Brothers
We're going to keep
was
him.
going to keep her.
Well,
now.
Right.
seems
But
like it's got
AT&T
a bit advanced
yeah,
now.
exactly. But AT&T is stepping back from it and allowing Warner to still do what it was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So they're allowing him to keep them and Heard, apparently. from
And
what I
Heard,
hear.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if
So-
you're going to keep Heard, you got to keep him.
So sorry, I gotta cut you off there for a second. So coming up in right now is the Suicide Squad
We got
panel.
4 minutes until Suicide
Yeah,
Squad.
so we got a few minutes until that. That is going to be the last bit of DC Fandom that we're going to be covering here.
Okay.
Because after that, I unfortunately have to go, which means that a lot of the stuff.
We have other stuff going on
Exiting
today.
Yes, that means we also have the wrap-up panel tomorrow with Brax, Corbin, TC. They'll be wrapping up tomorrow, so that'll be... They'll be covering all the stuff that we're not right now.
So
Yeah.
while we're in this break, what are you guys expecting from the second half of the day later? So after Suicide Squad, we've got.
I'm expecting Candace Penn to look beautiful.
I love this guy.
Let's see.
Yeah.
As far as
Okay.
like movie and TV stuff,
Mm-hmm.
it looks like we've got
We got Snyder
the
Cut,
Snyder
we
Cut
got
coming up at
Shazam.
2:30. The Flash TV panel coming up at 2:54. Black
Mhm.
Adam at 3:10.
I'm-
Titans, Aquaman.
No, it's on
Shazam.
I think we'll see The Rock in
Yeah.
costume. I
For
think
sure.
I
Oh, that'd
think
be
You think we'll see the Rock in costume?
I think we're definitely going to see the costume, which I think has already been confirmed, or like hinted and rumored.
Very cool.
But I would not be surprised if we didn't get like an actual picture, or at least concept art of
You think-
him
Hey, here's a
actually
good
in the.
question.
Or just him sitting at home
Do
just
you
in
think-
the
do you
costume.
think-
That's just how he rocks it at home.
Do you think we get a DC Universe announcement of what they're actually going to do with it?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is.
because we all know it's not lasting.
No, it's not, which is
So-
It has to
unfortunate.
get rolled into
Yeah.
HBO Max.
HBO Max.
Yeah.
Well, it makes perfect sense at this point to just bring everything that they like. If Disney Plus is going to have all the Marvel stuff, then it makes perfect sense for HBO Max to have all of these.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, they cut like almost the entire crew from DC Universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they cut a lot of
And
people.
I
from
know
DC.
Jim Lee said that most if not all the content from DC Universe
Oh.
is moving over.
Here we go.
Alright.
Suicide Squad.
Alright.
That's probably one of the ones I've been
This
anticipating.
one I'm very excited about because I love the Suicide Squad and I did not like the movie
Right.
we got, so I'm so excited to see this.
Hey, Daniel has a question about the movie, the original Suicide Squad movie that came out. Go ahead.
I
God.
can ask you now? Okay, so why does everyone hate the film?
It's 3 movies all trying to happen at once,
Yep.
and none of them are fully fleshed out enough to be good.
Okay, so you hate what portion as far as it when you say the three films in one? Are you saying the whole, it's a Batman portion, it's the...
No, I'm talking about, there's the part of it that's trying to be the Harley Quinn movie with Jared Leto Joker.
So we got James Gunn now.
Yeah, there's the part of the movie that's trying to be an actually interesting Suicide Squad film with, like, that's Deadshot and Waller. And then you've got a basic, it's what if a screw-up team was in the Avengers, and that's the Enchantress. And the giant beam of light that they have to destroy.
By the way,
It's those three tones running into each other that I don't
Right.
think blend well. It becomes very distracting. It becomes very...
It
It derails the project. If it had
it's
just...
not one constant narrative. We're getting everything else. You're trying to make sure it all fits together.
And it's not even the narrative that you're right. It is partly the narrative problem. It's also a tonal shift between those three. It makes the film very disjointed. If the film had just been the actual Suicide Squad stuff with like Deadshot and Captain Boomerang and Waller, that stuff is good. I like that part of the movie. It's only that part of the movie is maybe 18 minutes total. So I like roughly 20% of the film.
So, like they even said right there, the Dirty Dozen portion is what you wanted.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire
That's
thing.
what Suicide Squad is.
Sorry, I'm going to cut you off there. So we were talking about this a little bit earlier. Abram the Realtor says, would it be a better film if Ayer had his version of the theater? I think absolutely.
I imagine Ayer wanted to make that
I think
film.
that, like, no matter how, like, not good a director is, not that I'm saying Ayer is not good.
Oh,
I'm
look,
saying
Identity
a
Crisis.
unified vision is gonna be better than meddling
Yes.
and getting half of it.
Because that way, even if you don't like, I think Batman v Superman
Also, I'm just going to announce this is going to be James Gunn's version,
Right.
full version of Suicide Squad. So it doesn't seem like there's any studio interference
Thank God.
Yeah.
whatsoever with this movie.
Yeah, he's
We
said that
can say
multiple
thank
times.
God, but let's be real about it a second. What makes James Gunn very successful in the MCU is Kevin Feige.
True.
Kevin Feige can rein it back. Let's see. This is really a true test. What can you do given your...
I'm
free reign.
so
Give
excited
him
for
free reign.
weirdo James Gunn.
Yeah.
The guy who brought it. What 80s actor do you think will play Starro?
I knew it. That was going to be the question I was thinking. Like,
Hey, look, it's Jake
Oh
from
my
State
God.
Farm.
It's Jake from State
It is so
Farm.
funny.
It is.
Why-
What?
It is
Yeah,
Jake
it's
from
literally
State
him.
Farm.
Literally him.
Hey, Jake, I cannot confirm the exact amount
I-
of explosion.
What?
Oh, I get it.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of insurance.
Yeah, but
Remember,
also...
it's DC. It's a DC
That's
film.
a great way to sponsorship. Like,
Yeah,
great way.
but
Did
that-
the panel just have a commercial in the middle?
Yes.
Yes, but also that also really fits in with James Gunn.
Gunn's kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's very cheesy James Gunn-esque.
Yeah.
By the way, just to let you guys know, we are preempting all of our shows except wrestling tomorrow. We are covering DC Fandome right now, and tomorrow we will be doing a wrap-up with our website team and our social media team. Brax, Corbin, and TC will be on tomorrow's DC Fandome wrap-up. And also, wrestling will still be going on because we got SummerSlam to talk about.
Yes!
So Jay, Pump, and Nate will be over there talking about wrestling tomorrow. Power Rangers and Star Trek will be postponed until the following week.
Nice. I mean, sad.
Yeah.
To have
We
the
need a break.
information.
We need
Yeah.
Chester needs
Every
a
once
little
in a
bit of
while.
a recharge.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
right?
true.
I'm just kidding. Chester's great.
I kind of going back to, because I wanted to get this out, because Joe, you will appreciate this, because Joe and I have had a lot of arguments about Batman v Superman over the entire time we've known each other. I think Batman v Superman is a better film than Suicide Squad. Because I think Batman v Superman, for all its problems, at least has a consistent tone.
Yes.
It
That
is-
I agree with.
I mean, I think that more.
At least I know what I'm getting from seeing the
I
scene.
would say I enjoyed Suicide Squad more than I enjoyed Batman v Superman, but I do think Batman v Superman is a better crafted.
I agree with that, because there's nothing about Batman v Superman I liked as much as Jai Courtney's Captain Boomerang, because that was great.
But I feel that the biggest complaints about BVS aren't necessarily the actual. It's the idealized version. You might not be ingesting the characters the way you want to.
Batman has a gun.
And
So?
and he had it.
Also,
he had it in the 19. He had
to be
it in
honest,
1939.
My biggest
all
That
the
version of Batman's not great either.
my biggest problem with
Yeah,
Batman v Superman is
That's
I
right.
cannot tell what is going on. I literally cannot follow that narrative. I watched the extended version, the whatever, and that one I was like, okay, now it makes sense.
A little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit more, but I'm not more interested.
Lex
It just makes sense.
Luthor's plan is dumb.
No, let's just make this make sense. But
Luthor's plan is dumb.
But yeah, so that's my biggest issue with it. It's just I think that they need narrative tooling. It did not need whatever.
Because in
yeah.
Dark Knight Returns, Superman literally shoots Batman literally shoots somebody.
No, he doesn't. I got into an argument online a while ago with Chris Sims, the guy I like so much about God, and he actually made a good point. No, the way it's framed weird. He shoots the gun around them, there's no blood, there's no splatter.
So Chris Sims wrote it? No. Because there's an interview I can actually show you.
Ufalula and Nathan are playing.
Alan Moore literally
Sorry. What were you pointing out?
We're gonna find out who Falula and Nathan are playing in the film.
Okay.
Momentarily.
But he says that was the intention, was to kill. Frank Miller said it. So forget about what Chris said. Then also the other problem with that is that Batman's killed before, because he also kills the Joker at the end of the Killing Joke.
Well, that's a big ambiguous.
So if you look at
that's a Grant Morrison theory. That's a theory.
All right. I think they're gonna announce who they are.
Well, we can still announce and talk. We're
Yeah.
not in silence. But I think that if you actually read the colors of the inner dialogue in that book, all the stuff that he's talking about is great. He's trying to convince himself that he didn't kill the Joker. Go back and read it.
I'll reread it. Reluctantly, but I'll reread that to see it.
Totally.
Yeah, so he's
I
gone.
love Rick. Look at that. I love Rick
Flag.
Flag.
Yeah.
Close with your comics.
Yeah.
Michael Rooker.
Rooker.
Oh wow.
You know it's James Gunn now.
Yeah, you know it's James.
I can't wait for this.
Yeah,
I love Fula.
Of course, we got Harley
Oh
Quinn.
damn!
Of
They
course.
gave her a new costume.
This is awesome. Oh, Polka Dot
Polka Dot
Man.
Man.
You
Yeah.
mentioned it.
Yes.
There he is from Ant-Man.
Yep. And also Flash.
Yep.
Ratcatcher.
Ratcatcher.
Now this
Oh,
sweet.
nice.
Nice.
Ratcatcher is rumored to be in this.
And hey!
So
Yeah.
Bloodsport!
Bloodsport!
All right, so that was accurate.
Yep, that was accurate.
King Shark, yes.
Yeah.
King Shark, but we don't know who. It's
No,
like
because I
King
think they're going to change over who's voice.
Shark. Okay.
This
As
is
a
great.
Mongol. Really?
Peter
Yeah.
Capaldi the
Capaldi.
Finger! There you go.
Alice Braga.
No, it's Alicia Braga.
Alicia Braga.
Nice.
So sorry. Okay.
Fits in.
Hey!
Whoa!
Wow.
This is insane.
Yeah, okay, Nathan
Fillion.
TDK. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
We know Dave Bautista's in this too, right?
Sean
Sean
Gunn.
Gunn, of course.
Weasel.
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 Dave Bautista's in this
Hey!
Jay Courtney.
The
Yeah,
one
yeah,
thing
yeah,
I
yes.
really liked from the Suicide, the previous one.
too. John Cena.
Cena.
He's
Peace.
he's gonna get mutilated, and I'm
Oh,
so
man,
excited.
Bautista's not in this.
Batista's not.
No, he was talking about it, I remember, but I don't think he is.
Know
Yo!
these names.
This
Taika
cast,
Waititi.
Yeah.
That's
this
right.
cast
He's
is
probably
insane.
gonna be King Shark.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
cast is insane.
We also got a super chat. The blur says Superman in the 30s was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, the Fleischer Superman stuff is amazing from the 40s. Oh,
There
hey!
he is. He yourself a Bloodsport. Peacemaker.
Peacemaker.
John Cena. You can't see him.
I can't. I was like, why is there a blank screen? Of course.
Yeah.
Is Michael Rosenbaum in this?
They didn't mention him.
I didn't see him on the list.
Look at that mustache, Fillion.
Yes!
There's definitely a mustache theme going on.
Yeah.
This must be a shout out to Henry Cavill.
Ratcatcher 2.
Two. Yeah.
I want the reveal of what opened the Ratcatcher.
Exactly.
Pete Davidson speaking from the Dark Zone.
Yeah. It's Peter.
Oh, hello.
I'm doing things.
Yeah.
That is
Nice.
insane.
Man, that is such good casting.
That is
Oh,
so
Because
insane.
I wasn't fond of the Thinker in the Flash.
Yeah.
Like, it was just
King
kinda-
Shark, here we go. We're gonna get. Who is that?
Wait, is that Joe? Is that that voice of what
Steve Jana?
Steve Jana.
Hello.
That's not Joe DiMaggio or whatever, right?
No.
Joe DiMaggio was a baseball player for the New York Yankees.
John
John
DiMaggio
DiMaggio.
is a major voiceover.
Yeah. I was like, that's not him, is it?
I don't think so. It might be, but I don't
She's so
think
cute.
so.
That's a hell of a cast.
It would be
Yeah.
great if it
Yeah.
Oh
wasn't.
no, it's not John DiMaggio. That's because they didn't say his name.
Who?
And then
Who's playing King Shark?
King Shark, John. They said his name. Is it John or something?
Huh.
Look at these overlays.
Wait.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
They're gonna play some games, apparently.
That's fun.
It's James Gunn, man. You know, it's not gonna. I'm not
This
gonna.
is the most Joe panel I've seen yet. This is definitely something I would do.
He's like, look, what is everybody else doing? Okay, fine. I got something different. I'm not gonna do what everyone else is doing. It's boring.
By the way, let me just say, having these actors in the DC universe gives it almost this instant like shot in the arm it needed.
Yes,
Yeah.
because
I
this,
mean, obviously they're probably all going to be dead, but still,
this makes the universe so much
it
bigger.
really
Yeah.
is.
Like, this expands the universe in a way that the other one didn't quite
Yeah.
figure
Right.
out.
Well, and that's what I feel. That's what the DC universe needs is just more expansion. And I feel like they were trying to do it too soon.
Well,
Like,
they need that-
they could have done that with Suicide Squad.
They need
just
they need
didn't.
natural expansion, which, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. The Suicide Squad is a perfect place to do
I
that.
mean, who from the original Suicide Squad? I guess Will Smith is one of the main characters, basically, that
Yeah.
survived at the end.
Yeah,
Most of the team makes it, if memory serves.
Yeah, I think
Katana.
only yeah, Katana.
Yeah, because
Well, yeah,
Katana
Katana's
makes
done
it.
this, huh?
Because
There has to be
Killer
some-
Croc made it.
Right.
There
Yeah.
has to be some tricks up the sleeve of James Gunn maybe to pull out. If there's a Will Smith cameo, that would be super cool.
I'd
That
love
would
to
be
see a Will Smith. cameo.
obviously, did June Moon die or did she survive?
No, she survives because they think they killed her, and then she like comes out of the.
Oh, right.
and, Yo, let's see some belly dancing and
So let
let's
me
see some
ask you
belly
guys
dancing
this.
in
We
the
know
room.
who everyone's playing. What do you guys think of the cast? What do you guys think of the characters? What do you guys think James Gunn... Another thing we didn't get yet was Starro, but we haven't seen footage yet.
Sure.
Right.
We've
Yeah.
not seen footage yet. So what do you guys
And you don't
think
have like a main villain out of these, right?
No. So what do you guys think of this cast so far?
I
think it's
love
great.
I love this cast. I love that it's all C to D-list characters, so it really does feel like, oh crap, any of these could die.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole thing with. That's always the thing with
But,
Suicide
yeah.
Squad. Suicide Squad is like you don't know who's gonna make it. You don't know who's actually good.
Someone's
you don't know who's actually bad. Someone always wants to double cross
The-
because
the-
they're being double crossed the entire time.
The original run by Ostrander, one of the gimmicks was every story someone dies.
Yes.
Every story.
Well, I mean,
dies. Every mission someone's not
How
alive.
can you have a book called The Suicide Squad and not have people die?
That's
Right.
it. Right? And the thing is, it's so rock star right now, the way James Gunn's doing it. And James Gunn, he's a rock star.
Yeah.
So it's like, I expect to see this.
Is Diablo dead?
Yes.
Yeah, he died.
Yeah, he sacrifices himself to like
Yeah,
take out all the little like rock things.
Yeah.
That movie third act is a mess.
Well, the Suicide Squad, the great thing about being a film and being, with James Gunn especially, every iteration of this film, or every part, like this isn't even called Suicide Squad 2, it's just called Suicide Squad. But every film can be different with a different team and a different direction, different
Yeah.
feel completely. 'Cause it's always
Which
different
is really
missions.
fun.
Yeah.
Which is, I think that's really, really smart to do. A Suicide
And
Squad.
theoretically, I mean, not that they would need to, but once they bring in like Justice League Dark and Constantine and that whole like metaphysical realm, they can always bring people back too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's fair.
you know what I'm quite like? One of the best stories from the original Ostrander run on Suicide Squad was the squad has to go to Apocalypse. Yeah, it does not go great for most of the team, but it is phenomenal. It has a whole part where I think it's Dr. Light goes flies into Dr. Light go up and see if you can spot everything as a scout.
Like,
and he
I
does,
mean,
and it gets blown up.
Obviously, they can't do it with this movie, but like, I would love to see a Justice League or not Justice League, a Suicide Squad movie where just like everyone dies at the end of the movie, like where they're
That'd be interesting.
like we can't make a sequel to any of these characters
they're
because
all
we've
dead.
killed
They're
them
all
all off.
Well, yeah.
That's
That
like
would be actually really interesting.
Because I think that would subvert so many expectations that people have. They're
very
like,
much
wait,
so.
they killed everyone?
Yeah.
Are these fan questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fan question.
Fan,
Well, he's in the film.
Yeah, exactly.
So we sent in a question for the others.
I am jealous of Sean Gunn's hair. Sorry.
Man.
It's like he did the Taika
I'm just jealous
Waititi
of the fact that it's like, no matter what my brother does, I always have work.
Right?
That's it, dude.
I was always
But it's like Sam Raimi and
sit
Ted
there-
Raimi.
I sit there and look at my older brother all the time, like, can you hurry up and break into Hollywood so I can always have a job? I'm waiting for that to
Don't-
happen, man. He's not doing it yet.
John Cena also looks like a guy who's a little disappointed he's the only one who showed up in a suit.
Yes! Yes!
John Cena.
John Cena always wears suits.
Yeah, but John Cena's looking around like,
damn, man.
I'm surrounded by
This is
t-shirts.
the one time I could have been like casual, and I still was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna show up and be like a fucking grown up.
And then he looks over at Pete Davidson.
Oh, jeez. Not even me. He has to look like, what's her name?
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if,
Scandal.
like Pete Davidson is just wearing, like, tighty whities underneath.
Oh, yeah, no. That sounds like a Pete Davidson move.
It trips me out that they're all like, yeah.
Task Force.
Hey, but to Josh's, rule, they look like they probably had fun making this movie. So it looks like it's going to be a good movie. That's Josh's rule, apparently, for film.
I mean, is it a lie, though?
Do you know who? You know when they had a lot of fun filming? Ocean's 12.
You know what they had a lot of fun filming? That Sherlock Holmes movie with
Oh god.
with Will Ferrell and John Cena. They had a lot of fun filming that movie.
Oh my god.
I mean, I bet if you got really high and drunk and you watched it, it'd be
You'd
fine.
be sad.
I love
Watch
that
the
we're on a
director's
news.
Watch the director's cut. That will make you think good. No, honestly though, okay. So, but that has something to do with it, as far as hey, they had fun making it, but it also does depend, of course, on the director, the writer.
Yeah.
And this does seem to have at least a good writing team, good director,
Good
Yeah.
director.
and a cast that looks like they were put together well to have fun.
Right.
Now, if we put all these three together, ideally, this will be the redemption of even the phrase Suicide Squad.
Right.
No joke, no joke.
Yeah.
This will be the redemption of it. Looking at that cast, looking at the director, seeing how their chemistry works right now, yes. Now, do we honestly think this is the redemption of Suicide Squad?
I do. Well, I hope. I can hope. I can dream. This is like I hold expectations for this. I think that I don't have for or I haven't had for other DC properties.
Are you willing to say the simple answer of yes, this will be a good movie? Or do we need you have to wait?
I think you have to remember when we first saw footage for the former Suicide Squad film. Everybody's reaction, including my own, was, "Oh, who knows? That actually looks pretty cool."
Right. That's true.
I think it's very difficult to say emphatically whether it's going to be good or not.
Well,
I have
I can
expectation that
emphatically
it'll be.
say I have faith.
Yeah, I have faith.
So I think one of the problems with the original Suicide Squad movie was that it came out around the same time as Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
It came out a
And
couple months after.
and the studio was like, we have to recut this movie to make it more like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
They're like, we have to make it funnier. We have to add more comedy in it. That's not what.
That's
not the movie that David Ayer made. So it got.
This time,
I
we
just
just
what I'm
brought
saying. It's the three.
Guardians of the Galaxy director. Now
Yeah,
we
everything
can.
now
Yeah.
you can do exactly what the studio wanted from the beginning.
Do you think this is going to feel like Guardians of the Galaxy?
That's my
Storm
fear.
Reed. There you go.
That's-
Oh, she's so cute.
I'm hoping it doesn't. I don't know. I don't think it'll have the same.
Maybe the same kind of humor,
Sense of
but
humor.
the way the setting is gonna be so different.
I feel like the humor's gonna be closer to. Think of like the X-Force bit from Deadpool 2, where it's like just having fun with the fact that everybody dies horrible deaths within about 2 minutes.
Right.
Like that's what I've kept thinking is gonna be the kind of comedic tone of something like this.
I think that was that honestly that part in the first Suicide Squad when they killed off Slipknot right away. I was like, okay, we knew that one of these guys was gonna have to die soon, but it just felt like such a throwaway.
They always do that. There's always a version. There's always one to get killed that way to prove.
Which is fine. The way it happened in the movie though was just like
Full concept.
So
Okay,
welcome
fine.
to our Suicide Squad David Ayer talk. But I do have a question because now that we're mentioning this, and there's a lot of important things going on this panel, but do you think that a lot of these things, like he had just said, why is Bloodsport in jail? Because he's trying to shoot Superman.
Yeah.
Do you think we see Idris Elba try to shoot Henry Cavill in a cameo in this movie?
I hope so.
God, I
that'd
hope
be
so.
amazing. I hope so too.
These are the things we should
I
be talking about.
want to see it be a slow motion sniper shot that bounces off from the star.
Actually, the thing is, I think it already happened, and we'll just get like a
Right, the flashback, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Do you
Yeah.
think that we'll
It'll be
see
a
that?
cameo.
Oh,
Yeah.
we'll actually
At the
see
As a
very
that.
cameo,
least,
yes.
even if it's not Henry Cavill, I'm sure we'll see it.
Just kind of like how we
Like
got.
the back of him.
Like how we did
Yeah.
in Shazam. Like we did in
Yeah.
Shazam.
Yeah.
I think it actually will be.
I hope
I
it
think it will.
I'd love it to be Calvin.
I think it will. I think that will be the big James Gunn thing where it was like, oh, you guys expect me to bring
He brought all the Justice League actors for a scene.
That's what
True,
I would love to
true.
see.
How many of these characters die within the first 5 minutes of the movie?
3 of them.
3 of them.
I almost think that too. Like,
Yeah.
I can almost see that happening right off the bat because it instantly gives you
Peacemaker.
none of these characters are safe.
Yeah. That's true. Like someone, at least one person from
John
this whole
Cena. I
section
bet you
dies
John
off
Cena
the bat.
dies almost instantly.
You think it's gonna be John
I don't
Cena?
think it's going to be him. It's going to be Fillion. I think Fillion's going to show up for 2 minutes and then he's going to get
Give me
exploded.
that. Give me that right now. That's exactly what I thought.
I have a feeling it's going to be John Cena, and the reason I think it's John
Yes, why?
is going to be because you're not going to expect them to kill off such a big name
That,
so quickly.
yeah. Yeah.
Yes, that's why I think they're going to kill Fillion.
I don't think Fillion's as big as David.
I think he's big enough though that you get that same
I
bit.
think Philly
I
is
think
better.
I also think Cena was Peacemaker because he's playing Peacemaker.
yeah.
I think that's an inherently good contrast with Flag. I
Yeah.
think that's too much of a
Okay.
good.
But I think they kill Fillion because I think they kill Cena because he's a bigger name, and I think that the movie's going to be carried through the characters and less so about the names of the movie. Like I almost think they'll kill off Idris Elba pretty quickly too.
I feel like Elba's going to be the one who turns out to like he's going to see the potential in Starro or something.
No, I think the only ones that
Good-
actually end
good
up living
world.
maybe are going to be probably Captain Boomerang and Harley Quinn.
Harley's the one that we know will make it because they
Actually,
don't want to get
that-
out of the Margot
Yeah, they
Robbie's.
definitely will not
A,
do
good,
it.
a good way for them to kill someone off.
Here we go. Wait for
Right.
it. Wait for it, Josh. No.
What?
I want to hear Josh.
No, I'm just saying, like Starro sends down one of the starfish, it lands on the dude's face, whoever it is that ends up getting killed, and they're just like, oh, well, they just shoot him.
Well, no, then you have the joke of wait, we have bombs in our heads, and they just blow up Starro.
In the super chat, not super chat. In the chat, we do have a super chat feature also. I know we really dived off topic on this one, but Abram the Realtor says the irony is DC tried hard to make Suicide Squad like Guardians. They eventually hired the director, which is exactly the same sentiment that Tatiana had just said.
Exactly. You're right. I mean, it's what we all see, and it's a blatant move. And I feel that DC's like, hey, you know what? If you can't beat them, join them. But they shouldn't be thinking that way. Once again, I mean, multiverse is your answer. That's how I feel about it. But Suicide Squad is a great thing, like John said earlier. Its tendrils reach into everything else in DC because of its villains. Oh, here goes the villain that's connected to Flash. Here goes one connected to Superman. Here goes one connected to Batman. Here goes one connected to this, that. So we have something of everything.
You have keys to everything else.
Exactly. In this one film.
It's also smart using these characters Harley Quinn's an A-list character for sure.
She's the only A-list character.
Yeah, but
in
it's
this.
pretty smart to use all expendable characters that you're not necessarily probably going to use in the DCEU going forward.
Exactly.
So there was a big rumor that Batista was playing Bane, right?
That's come up as an idea. But
I can see that.
It's a good idea. He would make a good Bane.
Yeah.
Specifically, I think the Secret Six Bane.
Ooh.
Like that Secret Six version of Bane.
I would love a Bane and a Catman, a Secret Six, like Ragman.
Bring back Will Smith. Bring back Robbie. Yeah, no. Secret Six would be my dream follow-up to a Suicide Squad
That
franchise.
would be very interesting at the end of this film.
The
That's
setup.
what we get.
And I would love to see a Secret Six versus Suicide Squad film. That's the. I would love it. That's the plot of 3. It's like the people who
Amanda
escaped
Waller is amazing in the first Suicide Squad.
Yes.
She's probably
She's
the
one of the good
highlight.
parts, for sure.
She's good.
Along with Margot Robbie and Will Smith.
Jai Courtney. I will never run the Jai Courtney is surprisingly
Here
great.
we go.
Oh.
Dang.
I think we got
Teaser.
Footage cheat. Yeah.
And this makes me feel like we're watching Comic-Con.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like I said earlier. This
Yes.
really feels like a Hall H.
Oh my god! I'm so excited for this one.
This looks great.
This looks great. You're completely right.
I was excited at an opportunity to be able to do the Suicide Squad in the way it could be done for my
So
What do you think Kevin Feige's thinking right now?
Oh damn! I'm so glad we got him back for 3.
Right,
I'm so glad we got him back for Guardians 3.
I think Feige was thinking to himself. I think Feige probably even told him.
You can tell everybody if you're gonna tell me.
I think Feige told him that. And like, you know what? I think you should do it.
Bring him
I
back.
think you should do it.
well,
It
he's like
seemed like him. Ooh, did you see that? It seemed like him leaving Marvel was definitely not a Kevin Feige choice.
Yeah.
Don't take that.
Be like a douchey Captain America.
Yep.
that's John Cena.
That's John Cena.
Yeah, I think he was like, you didn't go for it, man.
So I looked up the Batista's Bane thing, and Batista himself was trying to be Bane. It was
okay.
he was like, I want to
thought
do
he was
this.
campaigning
was
for
announced in
himself.
this film, but I guess not.
Yeah.
He won because him and Gunn, and he was such a big defender of Gunn when all of that
Right.
nonsense
Yeah.
broke out. Like he was the most vocal defender of it. The whole cast defended Gunn,
Yeah.
but he was the most like
Yeah, I heard-
angry about
He
it.
was.
So there was a rumor I heard that the villain, obviously
Did
the new
we-
rumor right now is that the villain Starro, but there was a rumor I heard that the villain was actually everything takes place in Kahndaq, and it ties into like Black Adam.
Huh.
I heard that rumor. I think that's somewhere we could definitely. I think that would be something that they would probably go to down the line. It wouldn't surprise me if they did go down the
But
line.
we haven't seen a villain.
Nope, still no villain.
Not yet. We did see King Shark almost biting someone's
Yeah,
head
King
off.
Shark's gonna eat someone, which is
Yeah.
great.
As he should.
Yeah.
Please let him sing his song. I've been waiting for somebody to do the King Shark song, where he's just, I'm a shark, you're a motherfucking shark.
That's hilarious.
Where's the caption? I thought the caption always goes off on this thing.
I don't know. Well, I think because it's live, the
Anytime it
captions
cuts-
are. Yeah.
Anytime it cuts to the footage, that's what pulls it.
That's funny. Though.
We're gonna lose the.
I mean, yeah, because it says it's on.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
So I guess like we're not gonna get a King Shark reveal,
Yeah. So that was
or
it.
not a King Shark, but a Starro reveal.
Yeah.
Rude.
I mean, it might end up being like a big twist, is that they think they're on a different mission, and oh shit, it's Starro.
Right.
Which would be a fun reveal of everybody going, oh, cool, a starfish.
Yeah.
Ah, that's true.
All right. So I just completely lost my train of thought. No. So the Bloodsport thing was right
Wait a
though.
minute.
Yes, Bloodsport was
Are we
on.
still in Suicide Squad?
I don't. I think we're moving out of Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I
now.
think they ended Suicide
Ah,
Squad.
guess
Wait,
not.
there's him.
Oh, maybe not.
I guess this is the Q&A portion of this. So
Yeah.
maybe we will get a trailer after all.
Let's see here.
Bloodsport. What an interesting villain to choose.
It's-
I really like this team.
I love the composition of all these weirdo villains. That it's exactly what I wanted from the pitch. The hearing we're gonna get a Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah.
This is what
Yeah,
I wanted.
yeah.
This is what I was hoping for. So I'm excited because I love that. That Ostrander run is phenomenal. If you haven't read it, hunt it down. It is a fantastic run of comics.
It makes sense. It's something where I said it gets to be a DC hub
Mhm.
for everything that's in DC.
It can tie to everybody.
And we also have a few of these actors crossing over from the MCU, like Idris Elba, like David. What's his name?
Dalsma. I can't say his
I
last
can't
name.
say his name either.
Dalmatian.
Dalmatian. Yeah, I don't. That's how I say it. I don't actually know.
Even down to the director.
Dalmatian.
Yeah,
Dalmatian,
director.
maybe? Dalmatian?
Bryce says Suicide Squad actually looks sick from the behind-the-scenes preview. I agree. It does look very good.
But hey, a lot of things, once again, we've already had to deal with DC look good until it actually happens.
We gotta see it.
Jenkins back.
Yeah. So this now we have moved on to the boss females of color within the DC universe.
Okay.
Okay.
So we can stay on this for a couple of minutes, but let's wrap up what we saw this morning
Okay.
before we actually wrap up
Yeah.
here.
What were you guys' favorite thing from today? We saw a decent amount of stuff today.
Yeah, we did. I
Because
mean,
we've seen Cheetah, we've seen the new Flash costume, we've seen
I think, like, ironically, my favorite thing, because I wasn't expecting it, was the Gotham Knights, the video game trailer. But
Arkham Knight? No.
Arkham Knights, yeah, but didn't they call it Gotham Knights?
What was it called?
Knights.
Gotham Knights?
Yeah.
Gotham
Yeah.
Knights, I think.
But the Arkham Knight,
Oh yeah, right,
the
right,
new
right.
game. The new
yeah,
game.
the new game. I loved that. But I think that the Wonder Woman panel was the most comprehensive because they have a whole trailer. They had like all fan questions that everyone, I feel like it gave us the most information.
What gave you the biggest wow factor so far in this first part of DC Fandom?
That Cheetah reveal, that Cheetah shot. It was it's what I was expecting it, but
This is what I signed up for.
This is what I signed up for. It's what I was expecting, but it looks great.
Yeah.
And it was a moment of wow, that looks really cool.
What about you, Daniel?
3 times.
Okay.
The Cheetah Shot, the video game. I did not expect to see as much footage as we were going to. And
Yeah.
last but not least was Suicide Squad. I did not expect to be able to see like the actual behind the scenes, something, a vignette put together.
Right.
Because I did not expect to even see a trailer. So those 3 things were great for me. I didn't expect to see any of them, and I got to see them.
Yeah, I think that the James Gunn panel kind of stands out because it was different. Honestly, it's going to go understated, but Ezra Miller staying on his
Yeah.
that to me is like a big thing. That a lot of speculation.
I mean, I think that I didn't ever expect them to really take him off.
I did.
Really?
Yeah, I did because out of everything that's going on, I did not. And especially with DC, the way it's kind of changing, I was able to see that. All right, let's move this bit out. So
well, I definitely didn't.
It is also worth noting something that we have been talking is Wonder Woman. Is there a chance it could come to HBO Max? Would it do the rental? Would it do the Disney Plus Mulan thing? It doesn't seem to be with that very like only in theaters.
Right.
Like that to me implies no, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. Which is, I mean, when you're Marvel right now and you're wondering, hell, what do we do with Black Widow then?
Right.
I mean, let's see how Mulan goes first.
That's true. I feel like Mulan's kind of a test.
Yeah.
A test.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too. Like, we'll see how the price works out because, like, depending on how well it does, they could decide to release Black Widow at a lower cost or just wait and put it in.
Are any of you guys planning on seeing Mulan?
I am.
Like you're gonna buy
I'm gonna do the rental because I didn't get to. Unlike you two, I didn't get to see it.
I have seen Mulan.
I haven't seen it.
So
I know you did.
I did. I really enjoyed it.
I was set to see it
Is it worth
the day after everything closed.
Is it worth the rental?
Well, I don't think you can actually.
If
Hey,
you
whoa,
have more
whoa,
Review it long ago.
Whoa.
No, I'm not talking about the.
You can't. I don't think.
I'm not talking about the quality.
I don't think you're allowed to say anyway.
No, I'm not talking about anything about the movie. I think that for anyone who wants to see Mulan or any movie like that, if you have a group of people, like if you have a family, and you're at a home with more than 2 people, it's worth it. Literally.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'll be cheaper than going.
Yeah,
to the movies.
it screws over people who would be seeing the movie by themselves, but for more than one person,
Right.
it's completely worth it.
Okay.
But here's
The cost.
if it's like, hey, it's $30, but let's gather all of our friends.
Well,
together to
no,
watch this
you're
movie.
not supposed
We're
to be
in
doing that.
a time.
You're not supposed to be
we're not
doing
supposed
that. I'm
to be
talking
doing
about literally in your
But
home.
If you
that's why
Right.
you live in
Family.
a
Right.
house.
Yeah,
If you
exactly.
live in a household with people,
Exactly.
If you don't.
If you don't,
Yeah, that's why I said if you're
If you're just one person,
flying solo, it sucks because you're gonna spend $30 on
spending
something
a lot
that you
of
would
money.
normally spend $15 on. But if you're in a household of like 3, 4, 5
Exactly.
people,
Then
Yeah, it's
do it.
totally worth it.
It's me, my wife, and my sister currently
And
in my
that's
apartment.
enough.
Yeah, we'll do that, and all 3 of us will just be like, cool, neat.
Yeah.
We could get drunk here.
I know you see that in movie theaters as well.
See,
Yeah, but I won't be socially judged as hard as I'm going to
Right.
be, as I would be.
You can make the commentary you need to make.
Seeing as there's 5 of us sitting right now.
True. But I mean, no, that's true. Because well, if it's only $30, it is $15 usually to see a movie. Now.
Exactly.
If I'm gonna see it and I have my daughter and me that day, okay, boom, I spent $30.
Right.
That's what I was thinking.
How most movie theaters aren't even just $15 for a ticket now. It's like $20 for a
Right.
ticket
Oh,
now.
that.
well, I mean, it depends. It all
depending
depends
on
on
the
if
TV,
you're going
though.
to a matinee. Like if you're seeing it on a Tuesday during the week, it's probably going to cost you like $7. But if you're going at prime time, yeah, it's good. So it's to me the price is.
The price makes sense.
You would
Yeah.
rather. What about waiting it out and just getting
I'm probably just gonna wait. I already have Disney Plus. Mulan isn't. I'm not the target demographic for the movie. I don't think.
What if it was Black Widow?
I might pay for Black Widow.
As somebody who literally grew up in the 90s, I have a lot of affection for Mulan,
Yeah.
so I'm very excited. So I was going to do this from the get-go.
It's Shay. Shay has half of an idea of what's going on.
I would
half of the
literally, I would pay.
Well, I mean,
I would pay to see Mulan, having already seen it, before I pay to see Black Widow.
But also, his argument is stupid anyway because like if you wait long enough, you're gonna see anything for free on television anyway.
Right.
But it's that time span. He gave specific 8 months. Okay.
I don't know why we're
He's
giving him
not-
attention. He's not here. It doesn't matter. He is.
But it is an argument that I was going to make. I mean, there is the option of, well, I'll just wait for it. But how long?
Right.
And
I don't
waiting
wanna.
for all these
Right, and by the
things that
time,
are talking
exactly,
about
everyone will talk about it, everyone will tell you what happened and what changed.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, time out. You really think there's going to be a massive conversation about Mulan? When it
There's a
comes?
lot of
No,
changes,
but the
you know,
whole
or
idea-
not.
I think there's going to be some conversation
Yeah,
about it because you and I have talked about it privately about some of the changes that they
Right.
made.
I think people will have talking points about adaptational choices.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And see, that's the thing, and I wonder, it's like,
It's also
why
it's,
wait?
it is, it's,
Why wait if you don't have to?
and remember the live action Disney films have made so much money. There is a vested interest in the continuation of that live action Disney adaptation brand.
Which is very interesting, though, because there are some
Because we're on a
people
DC show.
Well, there's so many people that end up trash talking you later.
Yeah.
But now, speaking of it, the whole thing about DC, them making that choice to definitely say only in theaters. I was like, well, I hear that, but I'm like, well, what other options do they have? Are they going to say, be ready to watch on HBO Max?
If they had said coming to HBO Max such and such date,
That would be crazy.
that would have been a thing.
Yeah,
That would have
But
been
if
a
they did-
thing.
But if they did, but that's the thing, they already did the thing with the Snyder Cut. That's why it's like, yeah, we're not going to go ahead and now take Wonder Woman, because that would, in a way, kind of take down from Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is a completely new film
Right.
versus the Snyder Cut, which is a cut of a film that you've already seen.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be an insult to Patty Jenkins and everyone else's
Well,
work
that becomes part of the question with, do you wait to put the films in theaters when theaters are safe again?
But not only that, but I mean, obviously, not everyone has this kind of setup. But you've been over to my place. You've seen my TV. You've heard my sound system. I could watch. I mean, I'm not. I'm just saying. There's a lot of people that have decent home theater setups in their home, who, to them, watching a movie on their giant TV at home through their home theater sound system is going to be no different for that. Yeah,
good if not better.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's still like, I think that like it's still like the stigma of it too. Like you don't want, and also you don't know that, I don't know that there has been a situation yet where a digital or online thing has made as much money as the movie.
As a movie.
Right. Yeah,
Trolls
yeah.
really did make more than
Trolls, I don't know if it made as much as it would have made in
Right.
theatres, but Trolls
I know it made a lot,
it made enough money that it felt like it didn't feel like a step down.
Right.
They made a theatrical release amount of money. Because, I mean, after the film, AMC, who have been so more with Universal, had to step it back and go, all right, fine. Like, because it was
worked
an
out.
unmitigated success.
I think that's
But it's also been the only success.
right.
But it's been the only, I think it's probably the only
Tentpole movie.
it's the only tentpole movie that did that.
I think that
Every other tentpole got pushed.
Mulan will be a bit of a.
Mulan's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Mulan's going to be the game.
One thing is like Trolls is like a kid's thing. So like a lot of people will pay a lot of money for their kids to have entertainment and something to do.
If you could put on something shiny for the children to stop yelling at me for 90 minutes, which is what that movie was in the first place.
$20 for it. Just to get me to stop crying.
Right.
Mia's not going to be yelling for 90 minutes.
Right.
Worth it.
Right. So something like Mulan or Black Widow, which is more like, obviously Mulan is still a Disney movie, but live action version it's more for,
And then Black Widow is really going for the
exactly. Now that would be something where we'd see really how does this work.
Guys, have you guys seen the reviews for Tenet, by the way?
No, I haven't.
I've been hearing about them.
I've been hearing it is a joyless movie.
It's Christopher Nolan.
It's a Christopher Nolan
It's
movie.
Christopher Nolan.
So.
That was always a possibility.
I've heard that it's just not very good.
I've been hearing that.
I've heard boring.
I've been hearing boring, and I've been hearing confused, like needlessly confusing.
I mean, but that's also Christopher Nolan.
It's sounding like it's all the.
At that point, you may as well just drop it on.
It's all the parts of Nolan. I really like Nolan. It's all the most clinical, unfeeling
that's the
parts
question
of
we had
Nolan.
ourselves. What Abram the Realtor says, question, what happens to everyone who has the DC app?
As a guy with the DC app, I don't know.
I feel like they're probably gonna like give you a special whatever.
You might get like
So-
a code that give you like a couple of months free
When-
for it,
when-
like it'll just transfer you.
When HBO, well, I mean, I guess it depends on whether you paid for a year up front or just have the month to month. Because when HBO Max launched, they had a deal for $11.99 a month for a year. So that's how I have it. Regular price is $14.99 a year, which, and I mean, obviously, it includes all of HBO Now. So like you don't have to pay for HBO and HBO Max. It's just going to be one app. So if they transition you over, they'll have to give you almost like Disney Plus and Hulu, and like they'll give you a deal. Because from what I'm understanding, I'm seeing them talk about this in the chat, that the comics are still going to stay on DC Universe,
which is good because the library is really impressive.
So if they made like a bundle of HBO Max and DC Universe for like $20 or something, I'd upgrade to that to get the comics.
Why didn't they just come out with that? I don't feel that. Like,
they didn't know what they were doing.
I
had no idea what they were doing.
It was an attempt, I feel, to answer the Marvel Unlimited app, which has been around for a little bit longer and has been a success for Marvel in terms of getting more readership into the comics library. and it was also a mix of. It was before the AT&T purchase.
That's right.
It was before they knew for sure that they were going to be able to do something like that combination.
You're good.
And so now it's
Gerald here for the combo. Let's give Gerald a round of applause.
It was very much a we don't know what we're doing, but we should get in the streaming game. And it got us Doom Patrol, it got us Harley Quinn.
That's true.
It got us, which shows that like now other networks like HBO is so angry they haven't just been making Doom Patrol this whole time.
Right?
Yeah.
So DC Universe in concept was a good idea. They just didn't think the whole thing through.
Well, it's
Yeah.
because they didn't have the content library to roll out. I felt like they really should have held off.
As a part of HBO Max, they would be
Yeah.
I think Doom Patrol on HBO Max would have been killed.
And Swamp Thing.
And Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Swamp Thing would have been a great.
It would have been a whole lot.
I don't know if Titans would have actually gotten picked up by HBO.
No,
though.
Titans would have been
Titans would have
better.
fallen off.
It
Harley
would have either
Quinn
become a better show or just not exist.
and,
But-
Harley Quinn would be getting a much harder push on
Right.
now.
Yes, because it's an excellent show. That's
It is.
so hard.
It is. And that's something that HBO Max is trying to also, because they have all the adult, they have a bunch of the Adult Swim stuff. They have South Park. They want to have a corner. They have Close Enough, the new show by the
Let's ask some questions about DC Fandom that might get answered. And again, we'll be having a wrap-up stream tomorrow about DC Fandom with a lot of our people from our website and social media. But I do have a question. Number one, do you think we get an announcement that there's another Superman movie at DC Fandom? No. Josh?
I don't think so.
I don't think Superman as a solo feature is on their docket right now. I don't think that's a priority for them.
Do you think that we get we're going to get an actual teaser and Robert Pattinson in the Batman Matt Reeves panel?
I could see getting a teaser like we did for Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Like
think
a
that's
behind
what,
the scenes.
I think we'll get that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Snyder Cut. We already saw the trailer ourselves. Do you think we get any more surprises in that panel outside of what we've already seen, or at least what we've seen in
I
the trailer?
would hope so. But based on what has been happening so far, no.
But what about at least the announcement of whether it's going to be a series or?
I could see them making no announcement.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll specify that. Yeah.
They'll specify like release. They'll cement the
We
release
don't know if
dates.
it's going to be a movie or because there's rumors that it could be a 6-part.
Yeah, a 2-part movie,
There's
6-part
rumors that it could be
series.
A 2-part movie. There's a lot of rumors going around. What it is.
I think we get a cemented release date and we get a cemented what format is it going to come in.
Also, here's a question I've asked about this. With everything that's coming out, Snyder Cut, it looks so great, etc., etc. What if it actually is indeed a great film? Do you think it will be enough for fans to be strong enough or powerful enough to influence the studio to say, can we complete his vision?
I don't think so.
I don't think they can
so.
at this point.
I don't think so.
I
They
think-
give this man $30 million just to go ahead
But you
and
said-
give us one portion.
You said something interesting early on in the stream because you had said that AT&T is very hands-off with what,
With what Warner Brothers is doing because they've already had a plan.
but AT&T is very instrumental in
Yes,
Zack Snyder.
exactly.
So I don't think that that's going to be the case. I almost think they're like, hey, Snyder, we want to silence the fans. They're doing the Snyder Cut thing. Let's give them their thing and let's move on.
I think what I think is more likely is if it's very well received, if Justice League is somehow amazing. Which that was not intended to come with any. I mean, it did, but it was not intended to. I feel like if it's very well received by the fans and it makes money for the studio, what I think will happen is that Snyder will get a new project. I think they'll put Snyder in charge of one of the new things that's going to.
Yeah,
Another DC
I
thing
think-
or just
yeah.
another Warner Brothers project?
Definitely a Warner Brothers project. If he wanted to do if he came to them and said, "I have another DC thing I'd want to do," they'd probably give it to him. If it's well,
But who is Army of the Dead for?
oh, that's just for him. I think that's for.
Like what studio?
I think Warner Brothers.
No, I don't. I'm not sure.
Maybe New Line.
I don't know because I mean
It could be. It could be New Line.
because this is also assuming that Zack Snyder wants to continue working with Warner Brothers after this.
Oh, that's so
another
cool.
question is: do you think we actually get? What do you think we get revealed in Black Adam?
The costume.
Just the
Costume for
costume.
sure.
I think we definitely get the costume.
Maybe.
Well, I mean we've already seen the costume,
But I mean, like
like
him
him in the costume.
Yeah.
So JSA, I have no idea what the three. JSA confirmations.
I think just him in the suit.
Yeah, I would say him in the suit and maybe a couple of characters that are going to appear.
Okay, and then do you think that we get Shazam 2 stuff? Aquaman 2 stuff?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get Aquaman 2 stuff because there is an
Well, here's
Aquaman
the
I
panel.
think we're going to
Here's
get the
the thing.
confirmation about this.
Shazam 2 is further ahead than Aquaman 2, though. So you think we're for sure getting Aquaman 2,
That's
not
true.
Shazam 2.
Shazam 2, we might get reveal of like maybe who's going to be voicing Mr. Mind. We maybe get some updates about Shazam 2 just in terms of who's going to show up.
Yes, I mean we know that there's a panel, so they're obviously going to be talking about it. I don't know what they're going to be revealing about it.
I think the biggest thing is like what is the direction of it, because the last film ended with the setup of Mr. Mind.
We also know that is there a secret DC movie panel too?
There is a.
I know the comic side has a classified.
Yeah, there's.
Because that's the big one that's like surprise.
Like I say, the Bat, Chris Daughtry, Joker, Jim Lee,
I love
Presley,
yeah, he's great.
Batman, Justice League. That's really.
I don't think we're getting a surprise movie.
No, I don't see a surprise. I don't see a surprise thing here.
It's a pretty cool panel that's going on right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we're gonna have to wrap out here in just 5 minutes.
Okay.
So final thoughts.
This has been much better than I was.
Yes, expecting.
It's not even that I was expecting but I not as put together. I was expecting along the lines of Comic-Con, which I thought was a very boring.
Right.
Like Joe has been calling it, a bunch of Zoom calls.
Yeah.
This did not feel like that.
No.
This felt more like I think what they were intending to do. So yay
Yeah.
DC!
I think
Well
having-
done.
I
This
think
has been great.
having one
yes.
centralized channel with a live stream really helped to.
Yeah.
Just wait until there's D23 like this, and then it's gonna go crazy.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing, though. DC, bravo for stepping up and showing us how to do a
Yes.
digital con.
This feels
and
like
doing it right.
This feels like the first one that really nailed it.
Yeah. I mean, Comic-Con
Yeah.
couldn't do it, and here comes DC, step aside.
We are going to wrap up, though. If you want to follow more of what we're doing, check out our website at theilluminerdi.com. You can also check out our social media, The Illuminerdi on Twitter. We're also on Instagram, where we drop news there as well. We're also on Facebook, so check that out, too. You can see us individually at The Illuminerdi. Josh does our Star Trek show. Brandon is doing Rage Cage. Tatiana is, we're developing, what are you on, Tatiana?
Just website things.
Website,
Podcast,
that's
too.
true.
Podcast, yeah.
Editor-in-chief of our website. We also got Daniel, who's on our Retro Ranger Wrap-Up show. I'm on the Ranger Wrap-Up show. For tomorrow's programming, yes, Power Rangers will not be on tomorrow. However, we will be doing a DC Wrap-Up panel, DC Fandome Wrap-Up panel, and also SummerSlam live reactions, results. That's going to be coming from Jay, Pump, and Nate. And later on next week, we have a Power Ranger announcement, which is going to be pretty cool. Something we're doing special there. So we have a lot going on here at the Illuminerdi. We want to thank each and every one of you guys for joining us
thank you.
this morning.
Thank you.
Excuse me, DC Fandome is still going on. We still have a lot more reveals. So keep it right here. Check out the Illuminerdi. Please hit that subscribe button. We would love to hear more
Like,
from you.
subscribe.
And no, Danny, why don't you just wrap us out? Go ahead.
All right, make sure to go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe. So this way you guys will know what's happening, because remember, we're always watching.
All right, thanks, guys.
Later, guys.
Bye bye.
Yeah.